the hell is Jared? We all know what hyperbole means. And Janet, you're a fake and a phony, and we wish we never laid eyes on you. Welcome to Showmance, guys, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Dives as deep as the well of options. Hold on.
She has to keep it in.
Because I didn't look at it for like 3 whole minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes. It was like 14 seconds.
No, we went on a whole mini bit. Whole Barstool mini bit. Barstool, call us.
Barstool's like, get your line right, and maybe we will.
Oh, that's why I'm going to be trimming this part out. Dives as deep as the well of options this bit would need in order to continue this charade for much longer.
Oh, no.
Basically, I'm trying to say that I don't have any more of these left in me.
I think you nailed it.
Wait,
then.
did I even make sense though?
Courtney hasn't laughed 3 weeks in a row.
Dives as deep as the well of options for this. I wrote it wrong too. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why, because I wrote it wrong.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, hey gang, so happy to see
this
you.
This week on the Valley.
Dives as deep as the well of options this bit would need to be in order to continue the charade much longer.
No.
Like
Immediately no.
Yeah,
it's been a good show, guys. Thanks for joining us.
We got an early day tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It was when I tried to start getting real original with them. When I dumbed them down, you guys were totally fine.
That's because we're dumb.
But we know
Play
what
to your
hyperbole
audience.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeez. You know what rhymes with yeez?
Cheese.
Booty cheese.
Oh.
What?
I know my hair looks very 1980s, and I may.
May
I was
what?
just gonna say, I may go throw it in a banana clip soon. That's also very.
That's
80s.
even more 80s.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of 90s.
No, that's 80s.
That's late 80s.
That's
Okay.
full 80s.
Well, just wait.
Okay. No, I think you look great.
I'm just telling everyone that if you see it later,
Because this is
suddenly
like a
be up with a big long mane.
this is like a late
does.
70s to early 80s transitionary period.
Her
Because
hair?
wasn't the 70s like the little
Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yeah, but this is 80s. I was just saying that it's like the girl, the older sister in 16 Candles, where she's like, "You're being a bit of an asshole."
Do you know what that reminds me of? Mrs. Poole from, that wasn't her character name, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And she goes, "What a little asshole." She was great.
All the dickheads and dweebies.
Yes. God, that movie's so good.
I
They're
know.
playing it
They
in
adore
Hollywood
him.
forever. We need to go, and you need to shape up or ship out. You got to come with us.
All right, let's do a quick little poll now that we have a few people that listen to us. People who don't live in Los Angeles. There's a place here called the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's a cemetery, if that didn't give it away, the title, in Hollywood.
It's an amusement park in Kansas City.
I mean, shoot, it might as well be. So it's a cemetery in Hollywood, and a lot of famous actors and thespians and Hollywood
musicians.
people. And what?
Joey Ramone, I
Yeah,
think
music.
is-
A lot of entertainment people, even from like crew, craftspeople, like set direct, not just fancy celebrities that you've heard of, but also a bunch of fancy celebrities. So this dude bought this place 20 years ago, maybe 20-some years ago, younger guy, and he turned it into like a whole situation where it's like he modernized the funeral business, but then he has like movie nights every once a month or something. When is it?
It's in the summer. It's from like Memorial Day to Labor Day, and it's called
Memorial Day,
Cinespia.
ironic.
And you watch movies. They project them on.
But you sit in the cemetery, like on the dead people.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't lay on
He doesn't
graves.
know. He doesn't. That's the whole thing. He's concocted this whole idea of something in his head that like it doesn't even exist. Like what you're saying is not a
Basically,
thing.
people go to the movies and party at the cemetery, and
we're
I
not
have these.
partying.
They love it, and they say it's super fun and best time ever. And you get your blankets and your friend,
How
you
do
have
you
a
know?
good
You've
old
never
time.
been.
I'm saying that's what you tell me. I've seen pictures. And
honestly,
I just never, I never wanted to go because I was a big baby and a brat, but I'm like, oh, it's disrespectful. I'm not doing that. Until recently, it wasn't actually recently at this point. It's probably last summer when Natalie said she had said it before, but I don't think she did.
It's been saying, I've had the same argument since day one.
No, you haven't. Because it totally clicked. But she said that these are all people from the entertainment industry. Don't you think if there was ever a cemetery to watch movies, it would be this one? Like
Don't even say that. You're
like
getting it wrong.
No,
We're
no.
celebrating life. Like, it really is some of the purest fun you will ever have in your life. On 4th of July, they're airing Top Gun in honor of Val Kilmer. They're going to have a whole tribute for him. They're doing the fireworks. Remember when we saw
The
Footloose?
best time ever.
That was one of the best nights of my life.
It was one of the best nights of my life.
Nat
too.
and I saw
Like,
Footloose there. I had never seen it before.
I'm not kidding you. You will feel like you're on drugs
Yes.
when you're there. It is so enchanting, the entire experience. And I'm so not some cheesy asshole. I'm very hard to please in that respect. I wouldn't like throw that around. Like you really do feel like your senses are like on fire.
You
Like,
just know this is something special.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the
That's
backdrop.
called ghosts, people.
Okay, listen. Just the pure, simple, it's called Hollywood Forever because people that grew up, especially during that time, especially the people that are buried there right now,
Yeah.
all they wanted to do was to be celebrated forever. All they want to do is live forever.
It's called
and with you.
Hollywood Forever.
Yes, Hollywood Forever. You're watching their movies and they're all around you and they're hearing you laugh and cheer and have all the good times. Like entertainers, people that live that and breathe that their entire lives. Like you think they want it to end because they died?
Yeah, no. So like, listen, I that's the first time I had heard you say that last night, and it finally clicked, and I was like, well, that kind of makes sense. I still haven't gone, but I'm not as like Debbie Downer. But let me
pitch.
know. I'm curious to know. You've heard how enchanting and I've seen pictures. It
And
does
people
look
dress
super
up,
lovely.
which is
It's like
super
a thing.
fun.
But like,
Well,
does that
you're going
seem
next
like
level on that.
does
Not
that
dressing up.
seem like a disrespectful thing that you guys would not be into, or are you guys like, dude, you're being a baby and that would be fun? Let me know in the commentos.
We're celebrating. Anyway, okay, should we top of the pops it?
Yeah, sure, fine.
Okay. We start off, by the way, I was so happy to see Sheena and Brock's new home in the Val because they were in Marina Del Rey forever.
I didn't
And
even know that.
yeah, the pool party where we start the episode.
That's funny because I was like, this doesn't seem like the same place where they would sit on the couch and argue about Sheena needing a babysitter that she trusted. I
No,
was
they
like,
moved.
this seems,
Wait,
yeah.
Then all that work Brock did on the house just gone to shit?
They bought
Did they
a house.
own that house in
The one in
Marina Del
Marina.
Rey?
I feel like they were renting that house and then they used Michelle to buy this house in the Valley.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, but if they did lease it, then Brock did a lot of work on that. He built the gate. He put everything in.
Listen, it either went to their property value when they sold it or
Oh, okay, so they possibly
owned it.
My
I don't know.
vote is that they owned it because you don't do that much work. But also, I think that's where Brock had his come up.
I've done a decent amount
He
of
had
work
a
to my
little
house
niche.
and I rent.
Yeah, no, I have, but I'm rent control, so putting wood floors in was like the equivalent of what if we moved out, what just 3 months in rent would make up. So it was totally worth it. But I feel like Brock, that's how people got to know him and really started liking him as opposed to just him being like just some hanger on of like someone that kind of just glommed their way into the group was when he started doing those Instagram videos about like how to.
Yes.
And he was like out there and is like, he's kind of buffed out and he's like making this stuff.
Right. So even if they were renting the house, he was probably doing it for
Could
the
have,
gram,
yeah.
for content.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start this episode with what we have told you guys over at the Valley, and quite frankly, all of Bravo, with the most annoying thing. You cannot have any part of the season be revolving around A, something we haven't seen, and B, someone we don't know.
And don't give a flying shit about.
Jared is some guy who they've been friends with forever. He like popped in on Vanderpump Rules for a hot second.
Oh, he was on Vanderpump?
No, not as like a main character. He like popped in as like someone at a party or like someone they were friends with.
He went to dinner at
Correct.
Pump once.
Yeah,
I was one of the people that circled around Tom Sandoval's kitchen island.
correct. And it's just like that took up multiple minutes at the top of the episode and nobody cares. I get that Zach feels like he's getting the shaft from Britney because she's siding with everyone but Zach. And I agree. I feel like he is getting the shaft from her and she's not even realizing she's doing it. But like, I don't care to get this message through Jared, who I don't know. God bless
And also
Jared.
just like, I have really horrible attention span. So like I watch this thing like 4 times before we do a show anyways. But like, I still just kept rewinding it. I don't know where I kept popping out at, but I kept just thinking, I think I missed who this person is.
Same.
So I just kept rewinding it. And then like I would get bored enough again to where I would check out again and be like, no, stupid, wake up, like fucking attention. And then I still don't know who Jared is.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
I think that Britney is in a moment in her life, and maybe this is her whole life. I don't know, because like I never paid a ton of attention to Britney. Like she was always kind of a side character. Now she's not, and so I don't. But so there are a couple people on this show that I'm like trying to refrain from making like sweeping assessments of, because I just don't feel like I don't have the grounding yet to do it and feel good about it.
The institutional knowledge.
Yeah. I don't have those like 10 seasons under, like, because even when she was on Vanderpump, like, yes, she was a main character, but she still wasn't to me. She was always Jax's girlfriend, you know? So anyhow, I think that she right now is like friends with whoever is like suiting her in that moment, because she is going through a time period where she is going to need to be selfish and like need to fill spaces that are like holes that like we all need to fill, you know, and all like that's always a thing. But during this time, it will be especially for her.
Like with boyfriends, you mean?
As soon as I said hole, I knew something was coming.
What? No pun intended. Double down. That's what you call a double down.
Anyway, what? So I think that she right now is super tight with Janet, because I think that Janet and Jason, not Janet. Jason has an in to Jax. She's still keeping tabs on Jax. She's still trying to find out always like what's going on with Jax. And she also knows that Jason will go to bat for her on things like the mortgage and the podcast rights and whatever. So I think that that is her thing with Janet right now. And I think when she's like looking to let loose and party and like have a good time and relax and you know, like let her hair down, that's when she hangs out with Kristen and Zach probably mostly, because Kristen's kind of like probably doing her thing. But I just think that there's different friends for different things, and like everyone's fitting into Britney's needs right now. And it's probably annoying for someone like Zach, who's like, no, but I'm your ride or die, and you're wasting your time with this Yahoo.
I totally see Zach's point.
Yeah,
I'm with
me
him.
too. No, me too. She knows he'll be there, and that's true. When he said that, and I it's clear as day that that's true.
Yeah, she says something in a later episode that we'll get to that gives us a real, to me, window into her mindset. I think always, like I think what you're saying is right about, yes, she's going through this horrific time in her life with the divorce and how awful Jax not just has been, but he's like really gnarly, you know, with the divorce stuff and having a kid. But then she says something later where I'm like, oh, this is why you ended up with Jax. So we'll get into it. It's in the brunch scene in NoHo. The other thing with this scene that was so, it's just showing you exactly who Jason and Janet are. They are showing their ass in such a transparent way. Like they don't realize we're smart. The audience does know what hyperbole means, you know, like we're not a bunch of dum-dums. And so when they're now taking this thing that was put to bed.
But these are it's two different scenes, right? Like Janet and Jason are.
No, this all happens at the pool party. So they were talking about the Jared of it all. And then like a little bit later, Janet is in the kitchen with Jason and Sheena.
Because that's when Brock was like, hey, Janet.
Are you ready for some
taquitos
done? Or whatever?
Didn't he say, hey, Janet, are you done?
Brock shows Brock can't help himself, and he does.
I love it.
I love it too, because we're all thinking it, but Brock is able to be like, ha ha ha. You know, he does it in his like little accent.
Mate.
And like, yeah.
Dude.
You throw a mate onto anything, you can't be that
totally
pissed.
Good. But also, I thought it was funny when everybody was crammed into the house and they like cut to outside the window, and Brock was like outside with the kid, like sitting on a thing, but the kids were running around. And I just kind of was like, oh, fuck, that's where I would be. He's hanging outside with the fucking kids. And then later he came in and like said hi to Britney and like almost seemed like he was like, I'm just gonna grab a fucking fork and then I'm out of here. Said hi to her and she's like, what's up? Said her piece and he's like, cool, well, I'm outside with the kids chilling. If anybody wants that vibe, that's where I'll be.
Enjoy my new pool, mate.
Yeah. And like I feel like Brock's like, yeah, I'm good with you idiots.
No, specifically Janet, though, because the thing about Janet, she's like one of these people who, this is just like the micro of the macro of Janet to me. Like later in the episode when they were having that FaceTime call with Jax, she said this thing where I'm like, no, you can't pull that shit off, girl. When she was like, that really hits. That hits. I feel that. And it's like when Janet tries to like say certain things or when she's trying to be the character who is the aggrieved party and I'm pissed at you and I'm going to tell you what. It's like, I don't believe anything you're saying. You're not Lala. You're not Stassi. You can't pull this look off, girl.
Also-
so
No.
be you, because whoever you are, Janet, I'm telling you, that person is more interesting than who you
Oh
are
my
trying
God.
to be for the camera.
1,000%.
You have a metal detector in your hand, lady.
Okay.
Well, hold on, we're not at the metal detector yet.
I'm just saying,
But
like when
yes.
she's trying to, like you own a metal detector. Fine. Like, I don't think you can own a metal detector, be excited to use it at the beach, and then try to pull off a Lala-esque takedown.
Thank you. This
Yeah,
is what I'm
these
saying.
things don't go.
Be
There's-
who you are.
Yeah.
Let your freak flag fly, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But so when they're in the kitchen talking about all of this, Janet, if you were as smart as you are telling us or trying to show us that you are, you would realize that in reality TV, once something is like dead and buried, right? If you stop talking about it and the castmates stop talking about it, and for all intents and purposes, you're the one who walked into the kitchen and brought it up again. You're the one who went to the beach party and brought it up again. Let it lie.
Yeah.
And then it dies.
Yeah.
But you keep rehashing it because you want it to be a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone apologized. Everyone said, look, it was tit for tat, eye for an eye. You came for me, you came for Nia, so I came for you. How does it feel? You don't like it. Everyone's apologized, so let it go, ho.
Yeah, let it go, you dumb hoe.
It makes no sense. Like, you can't sit here and be like, well, because I talked to my mom and she made me realize that I should be upset about it. It's like, you talk out of both sides of your mouth. You strong arm your mom so much that you got her to give you the primary bedroom as a child, but now your mom is
Yeah.
coercing you to think something else. You tell us that when Jason leaves the house, you have an air tag on him, but then you say, when he goes out, I don't worry about anything. I pull my eye mask down and I sleep soundly. What is it? What is it?
I sleep soundly because I have an air tag on my husband.
But she didn't say that.
But like, I'm just saying, like,
But I think she's trying to play both sides of the fence, is my point. She's trying to sit there and be like, I don't care. It's dead and buried. And then she's bringing it back up. I trust my husband, but I put an air tag on him. It's like, well, but then you don't.
Her and Kristen and Jasmine, they have a very similar approach to how they go about things. It's just that Kristen's earned it, and we all know her well enough to be like, oh, that's her. And we've also watched her evolution, and she's gotten to a better place, and where we've all seen it in comparison. And she's much mellower. Jasmine is just truly, whether she's going to have a reaction that you're into or you're not, whether she's mega been out of shape and you're like, that's obnoxious. Like, you know, when she was in Santa Barbara, really like gassing Britney up when Britney was like, they're not being real. And she's like, I know. Like, it was just, and she was just like pacing back. And it was a lot of energy for that little tiny bedroom that was going on. It was really annoying. But I felt that it was like genuine. Like, I really, like, I felt like she can't control what comes out of her in moments.
Who can't control?
Jasmine. Like,
Yes.
she'll go off, and it's like, she might regret that tomorrow, but like, there is no one is stopping her now, not even her. She sees red. It's like, she's going. Janet also like picks these little things, but she's so calculated and so transparent and so strategic, but it's like, you're watching it all happen like, this is the wrong move. This is the wrong move. And it just feels so fake and pre-planned. And
because
her and Jason had a chat about it probably the week before, the night before, the morning of. She probably wrote a script out, you know, like so they're all going about this bullshit, these little bullshit stories, these little bullshit storylines, and picking and bringing something up that's like kind of bullshit and whatever. But like, it comes off so differently on all three of them because of just like their approach to it, or really just like who they genuinely are. Like, Jasmine and Kristen are genuinely
Those
crazy. You know, Janet is trying so hard to be something that is like, pick a lane, and what you just said, like, totally nailed it. Who she is really is way more interesting than she could ever try to be. Because I noticed that even in like TikTok comments and in our comments and wherever, that her Dave and Buster's night, people
That's
were
when you
into
liked her.
People were f***ing into her that night.
Yeah,
Eve,
that's the
that
only
girl.
time
Yeah.
that even in the comments, everybody was like, that's the only time everybody was like, well, I kind of like Janet.
That's
this
the only
week."
time I've liked her.
That's the only time
I
anybody
didn't like
liked
her still, but I still was like, oh, that's her in her element.
Right. I don't want to
And,
like have brunch with her. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I was like, oh, this is who she is. I can
Yeah.
deal with this. I
Like-
can't deal
But
with
like, who on this show likes Janet for real, other than Jason?
I think she feels a need for the people.
Okay, so this
No, not. What do you mean feels it? I mean, like,
Everybody has a specific need from other cast members or other friends in general. Like everyone needs, like, I get this from her, I get this from him, I get this.
But-
She's very strategic on who she comes for
Yep.
and who she leaves alone.
look at Michelle. Michelle needs someone on her team.
Yeah.
Look at Britney.
no, but who likes Janet?
That's what I'm saying.
The
I
people
think
that need her for something like her.
yes.
They don't really like her.
They don't
Who-
know that they don't, though, is the thing. We know that they all need something. Like even Sheena and Lala, like are like they've never really said anything bad about her that I've ever seen in the press and blah and on their pods or whatever. They never talk about Janet. They act like she's totally normal, but that's because they've always been on the show, and so she's always kissed their ass because they're the celebrities, whatever. Now they aren't on the show, but they fucking want to be, and so they're all still
Sheena
cool with her
and
because
Lala?
Sheena and Lala definitely want
Want to show again, don't you
definitely
think?
want to get back in.
Sheena, yeah, Lala. I was sitting there wondering when Lala Kent became. Who's that girl next to Sheena in the fuzzy jacket?
Well, she's
And
uber
3
pregnant right
scenes
now,
later,
and
like
she's
what? I
talks
didn't
about
even
that.
know that she. Like, I couldn't even tell she was pregnant. But
Well,
like,
she just
I'm
had
not
her
being serious. I'm
takedown.
just saying, like, this is fucking Lala. Like, it took 3 scenes for me to be like, who's that fucking weird redheaded chick?
Do you think
Who-
possibly
Oh,
though?
that's Lala. Is she gonna say anything? No. Every time I see Lala on this show, her face looks like my face watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It looks something like this,
I have a theory on that.
and it goes back and forth to all the people, and it's kind of like, what the am I watching? That's the face I see in Lala right now. I think Lala is like maybe trying to tap out.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm curious your theory. I'm curious if it's similar to mine. What is
No,
your-
you want to go first?
mine's super short. I just think she wants to stay around enough so that it's like, oh, let's do this show with Lala, or let's, like, you can't, out of sight, out of mind in this industry. And I think that she's just trying to stay
But
around
she doesn't
long
need
enough.
to be out of sight. Like, just because she's not on the Valley, like, Lala can do whatever the she wants.
No, but I don't think the Bravo people have a show for her yet, or have
Why
a
does
space
she
for
need
her
a
yet.
show? Go make your own show.
Well, okay,
Go do a
listen, I understand
podcast
what
like
you're
every
thinking.
other
She
fucking
does one.
person.
I
Great.
think that she's
Why
doing
does
as
she
much as
need-
she possibly
she
can, but I
doesn't
think
need
that
the
Lala
Valley.
is very like eye on the prize, like make money now, build. And so I think that she just sees this as like, I mean, she bought a
Do you
house
think that
down the street.
Lala's
She
getting
moved
paid
from
good
from
money
LA
to
proper-
show up at the beach scene on the Valley and not say anything? Like,
I don't know what this bit. Why is that blinking? And it's stuck at 16, unless that's just totally coincidence.
Oh, no.
How long has that been going on? Do you know?
Who can say?
record. That
Okay,
guy
this-
did pretty good with his substitutions of the Lollipops.
Oh, good. Okay.
We
The
were
thing
talking
was
about-
blinking. We never know why. And so I took that opportunity to also put my hair in a ponytail.
You said it was going to happen.
I knew it would.
Yeah.
I knew it would. I should have done it from the get. But I've had ponytails and buns like every week. I'm waiting for my hair to grow. I got some breakage up here, you guys.
And I'm taking this time to crack open a refreshing Lollipop.
And I'm taking this time to stock up on all the Coors Lights because I was just diagnosed with gluten sensitivity and I have to cut it out in about 3 days. So I'm getting all the gluten in while I can. Okay, wait. In all seriousness, we were talking about.
I was going to do a Lollipop commercial and you
I know.
interrupted me.
Oh, wait, you had more lines?
Yeah, I had the whole thing. You could see you did your jingle for your carpet cleaning place earlier.
Yeah, but
Your
we didn't.
imaginary carpet.
Yeah, but we
cleaning
didn't get it on
place.
tape, and it's a keeper. Do you have more lines? Do they
Nah,
rhyme?
It's fine.
Okay, well, mine rhymed. Okay, in all seriousness, this is where where Britney brought something up that I thought was super interesting when we're at the beach and this is like the Janet of it all with the fight with Jason and Jasmine and all that stuff. And right before the fight pops off, we're like, it's brewing because everybody knows that Jasmine's annoyed with Janet. She doesn't want to give a full apology. And in Britney's confessional, she goes, I don't understand. Like, she's always been nice to me. Listen up, Britney, and anyone else who doesn't know this life lesson. I have this thing, I call it the waiting tables theory, because I waited tables forever when I first moved out here. And however someone treats the server, it's just a matter of time before that's how they're treating you. So if they're generous and kind and thoughtful to the server, they will be generous, kind, and thoughtful to you. If they are an asshole to the server, it's only a matter of time before they are an asshole to you. And anyone who says like, but they're nice to me, is not realizing that's not the point. It means this person has the capability of being an asshole, and it's a ticking clock before you do something that they're not happy with and you get in a tiff with them. So like, Britney, the same reason that you have said, well, Janet's just always been nice to me, is the same reasoning that you used to be with and marry Jax. Oh, well, he's not going to treat me the way he treated Stassi, or he's going to be better to me than he was to this person. It's like, no. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. And she didn't do that with Jax. She's not doing that with Janet. It's going to bite you in the ass with Janet. And you have a good, loyal, and true friend in Zach. And Zach's getting the shaft for Janet. I don't know anything about Jared, so I can't speak to that. But it's just like, who's Jared? But it just really does go to show you, like, her reasoning is very, at least from what we've seen with these two relationships, is very flawed. Because you can't just go off of like, oh, but they're nice to me. Famous last words. Trust. I am right.
But I don't think that she's dumb about it, though. I truly think that I find Britney to be a bit of an opportunist in that where like she's just going to like, there are many women, there are many like people that date professional athletes that just go, no, he's not doing that. He's fucking doing that. Let me tell you, he's doing that.
He's doing that.
But like you just decide like that's not happening because they're fulfilling whatever need, whatever you came here for. Like, listen, Britney could be, if she's just a very ambitious person who she wanted to get the hell out of Dodge and her one horse town and get to the big city and make a name for herself and whatever. I honestly don't even judge that at all.
Same.
I don't like it when they play a little bit stupid about it. Can't believe it. That's annoying, but I wouldn't even care if that's just what she did. I think, like I said a minute ago, she clearly needs a lot of support, needs a lot of advocacy, needs a lot of yes people right now, a lot of people that are going to do her business for her. And so when she says that Janet's not mean to Janet, I don't find Janet to be that way. Like I have to believe that Britney is now smart enough because she's been in this business now for a bit and has been friends with all these people for a bit. One thing about Janet is that however she got here, she has been able to keep these people in her life for a few years, chunk of time now. She just hasn't ever been in a position yet where Janet would not be kissing her ass and not be trying to help her because Britney's higher on the totem pole. Now, we had a comment last week that we talked about where someone said, Britney's always looked like the good one because she had Jax right next to her. But now that she doesn't, her downfall could be on the brink. Like she could be on the brink of like the audience turning on her, the edit not being so kind to her, whatever. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but
possibility.
50-50. Beepty. I go New York City. Beepty.
Those are my favorite memes right
bite
now.
to eat.
Are we
Bite
going
to
to die?
Bite to eat.
50-50.
Yeah. You like Hugo Boss? I know. Anyway, if you haven't seen The Terminal, it's the greatest movie. I mean, there's 100 greatest movies of all times. That's one of them. Now.
It's so heartwarming. It's so good.
Yeah. Listen, everyone has it's the greatest movie all the time. I leave room for about 100 of them.
Yeah.
And it is in the top 100.
So one of the 100 greatest movies of all time?
Yeah.
Not AFI.
But like, I'm not always going to go that far into it. I'm going to say greatest movie of all time and move on. But now y'all are going to know that I mean, there could be.
Everybody knows the greatest movie of all time is When Harry Met Sally.
What? The rom-com Goonies?
Yeah. By the way, I was joking. Someone was like, "Is that a rom-com? WTF?" Like I was totally kidding. I know it's not a rom-com.
I think that we were so off our rockers that entire episode that if anyone took any of that seriously, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, just know that.
That was not.
By
a
the way,
thing.
we weren't drunk. We weren't on anything.
No, Meteor Wine said something like, "Courtney, what brand of chocolate mushrooms
Yes,
is on the menu this evening?" And I was like, "We weren't on anything. However, that is very much how I act when I am on chocolate mushrooms."
Same. I saw that comment. I was laughing so hard.
Okay, wait. What did I stopped somewhere?
Oh, with
for
Britney
nonsense.
saying that maybe like it's 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50.
So I feel like Britney will be one of those people, just like Janet thought she could come in and take out Kristen, the OG, overnight and raise her status off, like rise to the kingdom, which she was totally wrong. Britney will be that next person, because I think that she looks at people like the Britneys and the Kristens as, these girls don't know. Like they like, and it's,
You're just in my way to the top.
Exactly.
But I promise you, Britney does use that. That is a part of like the fabric of her makeup, where she has this mentality of, oh, but they're nice. Because I do think that is like the nice, sweet Southern part of her, where it's like, I'm not going to judge. They're nice to me. And I now think, has she used that probably to, get her to this place, that place, not judging, but like, do I think she's used that quality? 100%. I still think she doesn't recognize, like, that is the worst way to go about things.
Oh,
you have to look at how someone is 100.
Yes.
How are they in totality?
I don't think that Britney knows quite yet that she will be on the chopping block.
That's
next
exactly
season.
right.
So that's where the ignorance is.
Yes.
Is that she's prime for the pickings, though.
Wait, Mike, do you have anything to say about the because now we're at the beach with the metal detector. Did you say it all?
I haven't said anything.
Well, no, you brought up the metal detector earlier.
Oh, just in the sense that like you can't have a metal detector and be a badass. Like,
totally.
I don't. I mean, listen, I don't know if I do have anything to say, to be honest, other than these people are dumb.
Not even
Like,
about this whole scene, like with the
what
fight with
whole
Jasmine. No, I'm
scene?
saying the
The
fight with
ring,
Jasmine.
again, the ring. Like, what's next week? He didn't take out the trash. Like, what are we doing here? That's where I feel. I feel like Bravo is slacking off.
I have a theory about what happened here.
What?
I'm maybe going into Natalie's territory with the conspiracies. Oh my God, I hope I can make you proud. Can I tell you what my conspiracy is?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Jasmine did such a piss poor job of explaining herself in this argument, because the anger that she had towards Janet was real. There is 100% an underlying thing going on.
Yeah.
And that's what she's not explaining. Also, there was one amazing moment where she was like, you give Karen energy. I'm so mad at you. And literally Janet had the moment of like, me?
A full-on Karen reaction?
Yes, it was so obnoxious.
Also, the kids out there can light me up on this one. That's fine. Is Vibe Killer a thing?
Yes.
Really?
Hundy
I
Pig.
was like, I'm
Kendrick.
like, oh, I'm using Vibe Killer forever. You know how many people I want to say that to?
Grandpa, you've
I
never
know,
heard
Grampy
Vibe
never heard
Killer
Vibe
before?
Killer
You haven't
before.
heard of a little song called "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe"?
Well, I've heard Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, but I've never heard someone like called a Vibe Killer. Like,
I've
you're such a
engraved that
vibe
on Palo
killer.
Santo. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. It's so good.
But again, different, bitch. Like, that's not a vibe killer. Like, not a full-on, like, I'm calling you a name, as opposed to just telling you not to do something. Anyways, I thought it was funny.
No, I think it's great. And she is a vibe killer.
Yeah.
So I think.
But they're all a vibe killer at this point. The whole group is a vibe killer. But none of you people belong together. That's what I mean. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is silly. This is getting silly to me.
Well, it also gets silly when they leave complete characters out of the episode. Like Jesse, Michelle, Nia, Danny, are like you even in the show anymore. The one scene that Nia and Danny got is just filler bullshit.
Yeah. The only scene that Jesse was in was the booty
Beginning,
cheese.
which was disgusting.
No,
And
it's
the-
totally disgusting. But that
and
little
the
girl
replay-
is
So
Play.
cute.
And
She's adorable.
I didn't even realize this until just this very second. That's so dumb. Because I was like, oh man, so cool that like Nia and Danny and Jesse and Zach hang out together when outside of filming. And now I'm realizing, well, how the hell did you know that, dummy, if they weren't filming? Because the camera was there. But they didn't show any of that scene. The scene where they were playing, the night before. Cornhole. Oh, we went out the night before and they were playing cornhole. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool. They hang out together. It just occurred to me that, like, well, there was a crew there. Like, they filmed that. Yeah. But they didn't show any of it.
You really think Jesse's hanging out with Nia and Danny if there's not a film crew there?
I want to know if there's a place like that on my part of town, on my side of town.
No, because rent's too expensive. Exactly. And you can't make money off of cornhole.
Yeah, but all of Robertson is empty because why?
I know. They're not lowering the rents. Okay.
Let's just keep it all empty and not lower the rents. By now, you would have surely made up the money that for not having anything there. If you would have lowered the rents and we could all be partying.
Yeah, but people can take losses on their taxes. It's a whole thing. Can I just explain my theory about Jasmine?
Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I just don't want to forget. Okay. So have you ever had a friend? We all have.
I have no friends.
Okay. Well, we have. Where you have a person in your life. It's like, you know when there's a contract and you don't read the fine print because you're just in such a rush. You're like, yeah, just sign it. Just give me my new phone. I got to get it. I dropped the other one in the bathtub. I got to get on with my life.
Yeah.
There are friendships where like you meet someone and they make such a good first impression and you're like, oh my God, I feel like I met a new friend. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
They seem great. Like, we're going to hang out again. And in about like 3 hangs, you realize, I should have read the fine print on this person because they are the world's most annoying, emotionally taxing and demanding friendship. I call them jury duty friendships.
Yeah.
Like, you're so annoying. You only call when it's the most inopportune time for me to hang out, to do something with you, and you always have an issue. And it's just never joyful anymore. You've sucked the joy out of being friends with you. And I don't know how to get out of it without just straight up saying, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Jasmine and Janet. I think little by little, Janet is showing who she is. And Jasmine's like, wait a minute. I'm friends with a Karen and we go to a restaurant and she is the person who sends everything back. And she is the person who's rude to the waiter. And she is the person who's stirring up, saying, all this nonsense amongst our friends, even before the show started. But now the show is put a magnifying glass on it. And I don't know how to get out of this friendship because now we are on this show together. And I think this whole hullabaloo happened and she just snapped. So that's part of why she wasn't making sense when she was yelling at her on the beach, because she was saying everything that's like built up. Yeah. So instead of being able to say, look, everyone was saying this, I was just having a conversation with Kristen about it, and Kristen brought it up, and because she was having the conversation with me about it, it got pinned on me. But like, your old friend group everyone's talking about it. I don't even believe that this is what happened.
Yeah.
But it was said. I'm sorry that it got brought up to you guys, but I have nothing to do with this. And furthermore, if we're going to talk about Erica, we're going to talk about everybody from Beverly Hills. Like, then let's just talk about all of it. I think you're annoying. I think you're a vibe killer. I think you give Karen energy, and I'm out on you.
Yeah.
I'm out on you for every reason it has nothing to do with your husband maybe taking his wedding ring off.
Yeah.
Because you suck balls.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's how she should have said it to her, but she just wasn't. It's like all the wires got crossed because she was like, this is my moment to get out of the friendship and have a moment on camera. And I don't know how to do this yet because I'm not.
Yeah.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No, I think that's all true. Like, I don't know who would even argue with that. Like, I think that's nailed it. But she reminded me of like Jasmine Crockett, where she goes off on Marjorie Taylor Greene on the house floor, and she calls her to where you're like, whoa, bro, like you just really got out of hand. But like, is that on a t-shirt? I'd love to buy that on a t-shirt.
That's such a good, like, regardless of the politics of it, it's like, these two women are so at odds with each other that like, it almost has nothing to do with what they're arguing. It's just like, I just need to
Yeah.
get this out of me because of everything, because you park like an asshole, because I can't stand your stance on this, that, and the other. And it just all comes, it's like a word vomit.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what I think happened.
Yeah,
because
when Jasmine Crockett did, it's like, my darling, you are on the House floor. Committee is in session. The speaker has the gavel, or the chairman, or whatever. Do go on. Like, it was that good. And that's how I felt about Jasmine. Just like, I felt like she was like kind of talking in circles for a minute. And then she got to that part and I was like, there it is. Like, that was the greatest. It's not like we thought we were the first ones to say that Janet is a Karen, but like, I never saw this scene before. Like, I didn't see this in whatever. I love that she called her what we've all been feeling for the last, we probably felt it in season 1, but I felt like we really fucking brought it home by hashtagging every moment that we possibly could with Janet is a new Karen. And I really do think that Karen they have done their time. Let's let them be. Let's everybody just call them Janet's now, because she's the modern. She's the new. She's the 2.0 V2.
I was thinking the exact same thing that you're saying when I was watching this. I was like, it makes no sense, really. Like, it's not if you were on the debate team, I'm flagging you for this moment. But where you got was all true and great. So your team still wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then when Jason comes out, this is what I mean by they are so performative. So when I was in high school, I grew up in Jersey, so you just went to diners all the time. So like after a party, after the prom, whatever, you just went to the diner. And there was this one diner that my friends and I would all go to, and we were convinced that on Friday and Saturday nights, they would have like narcs in there to see like, oh, okay, like these kids are stoned, like where did they get it from, whatever. And there was this one night where this one waiter, who was not a good waiter at all, and we kind of had our eye on him, he like drops all the plates because something happened, someone bumped into someone else, and we all turned around and we're like, whoa, and he backs up and he goes, hey, I'm just the waiter. And we were all like, that's the narc. And so when they're having this fight on the beach, and Jasmine had said to him, like, she said something to him and he goes, oh no, she's like, what are you talking about? You talk shit about everyone else. He's like, I'm just a regular person. And it's like, no, dude, you're the narc.
Yeah.
You're on a reality TV show. We all know.
Yeah.
So just be who you are. Don't be who you think Jason, the lawyer who's married to Janet and has a young child, should be.
But does Jason talk shit about everyone?
Of course he does when the shit's not filming. He's married to Janet. You don't think Janet comes home and says like, listen, this is what's going on, and don't you think that's messed up what Jax is doing, and he's such a bad husband? And of course he does.
I don't think, but like now we're getting into semantics of what is talking shit versus having a conversation with your wife about Jax and some f***ed up thing that he did, you know?
He's just dumber than I thought. I thought he was smarter, 'cause I always just think like, oh, you went to law school? You must be smart. He's not that smart.
I think Jason is that guy who will be nice to you. I'm not saying he's a degenerate. I'm just saying like he might be nice to your face, but then he would like get in the car to go home from dinner and be like, why does he always dress like a slob? He never picks up the check. He's a cheap jerk off.
What?
Like
what's giving you guys this vibe after one little beach sesh?
I don't have that. I think he just listens to Janet. I think that Janet spurs something, and he's still too dumb to recognize that this is a pattern. Like, he wasn't mad about, like, he thought Danny, oh, no big deal. Yeah, I would, if my wife would have passed out upstairs wasted, I would have just said, she's sleeping. I don't think this is a big deal. That day when she says, I see what happened here. I did this, so you did that. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, no, that tracks. And then he gets home and Janet goes, don't you like, and then he seems to me like she just riles him up.
Maybe this is what I'm trying to say. Not that, like I said, not that he's like some terrible guy that like spends all of his time talking smack about his friends. I just saw this interesting thing when he was in the scene with Danny at the burger joint. He really snapped and he was like, but you did. And you like, he went in. And so like he has the capability of doing it. So I think
100%. Yeah. It's his fault regardless of who's like planting the seed. I just don't think he thinks of these things until Janet brings it
But
up.
regardless, then he's partaking in it.
Yeah,
That's why Jasmine comes.
Jason sucks. Like,
So when Jasmine says,
I
like,
didn't
but you
think he
do
did.
talk smack about people from time to time or whatever. And by the way, I'm not hating on you for that. Just own
you're on
up
the show.
to it.
You're on the Valley. That's all this is smack talking.
But for him to
you got
turn
this
around and be
show
like,
you got Salt Lake City Housewives. One of the other, like these are the spots for you.
But for him to turn around and just say, I'm just a regular person.
Yeah.
You're not.
No, you're
not.
on a trash TV show now. Welcome. The water's warm.
We're so grateful for your service.
Yeah, thank you so much. But like, let's not mince words. You are on the
can't-
Valley.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves. And by the way, if an amazing opportunity for me to do something that could like change my life, make life-changing money for
Yeah.
me or whatever came along, I would get in the game.
Yeah.
But you can't be in the game and think you're above the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
So you either got to get in and realize like, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And by the way, it's going to buy me a beach house. It's going to take care of my mother. And I respect that till the day is
Totally.
till the day is done.
Totally.
But you can't be like, oh, but I'm not like them. Yeah, you are. You're on the team.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
You married Janet. You married Janet. What were you going to say?
I nothing. I don't have anything planned for this. This is so off the rails to me. I think like
You don't think that Jason?
I don't think that Jason is a dude that is nice to your face, gets in the car, and then goes off on you.
Yeah, I don't think he does
Jason is. I'm curious about why Jason is married to Janet. There was in the interviews when he was like, "Oh man, I'm really upset. I just don't. I didn't know Jasmine was so mad at Janet, and seemed like she had been so for a long time and had some real pent up anger. It just made me really second guess my relationship." But there was enough of a pause there to where I think we jokingly were like, "My fucking wife," like slipping those words into his mouth. But like for a half a second, I was like, "Bro, you were saying JA, but you were thinking about going to an S or an N after those two letters." Like,
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I think I missed that too.
like
Yeah,
just
what's a
like for
JA?
half a sec, Jasmine Janet, he for half a second, I got the feeling that whether it was true or not, that he was like, it's making me really second guess. And he said my relationship with Jasmine, but like
Oh, you
when
thought
it
he was
should
going to say
be.
Janet.
we jokingly filled in
Like
that.
he should be. Like I don't think he was going to because I don't.
Yeah.
I think Jason's like we can call it pussy whipped. I don't care. I don't mind if like people that are married that are super into their spouses. Like I exalt. That's amazing. I
My
love that.
I
favorite
would
quality
not
about
be
someone is when they are
surprised.
so in love with their
Yeah.
spouse that it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But listen, but what if Janet has been trying to accomplish this goal? Like, and I'm also like, I don't know if I'm 100% on the whole, like, oh, she's a stalker fan that like, whatever. I think she, whatever.
Is a stalker fan. I'm on that train.
No.
Just for Mike, if I'm casting a vote. But go ahead, Mike.
So let's say she is, just because that's what I'm talking about now.
Okay.
She could have been super cool, nice, kissing ass to everybody. You meet that girl, she's cute, she's nice, like, oh, let's get married. I'm a lawyer, blah, 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 blah. Then she finally accomplishes her secret mission, which is get on a TV show so I can be the evil bitch and make $1 billion. And a few years into that, this nice lawyer that you married who thought you were so sweet because you were so sweet playing this game for all these years, now is starting to realize, fuck, everyone hates you. Like now you're here, you've accomplished but like subconsciously starting to be like, you're not the same girl I married. Why are you doing all these things? Why are you causing all these problems? Like this ring thing, why do you keep bringing it up? Your mom didn't really say that. Like she just thought it was weird. And then you went and fucking ran with it for another. Now I'm fighting with my friend that I knew before I even fucking met you. I wouldn't be surprised if later this year or next season, Jason starts wondering, how did I get into this mess and what happened? And a Jesse Michelle thing, you're not the same person I met. You're not the same person you were when we met.
Yeah.
Happens to Jason.
Yeah. He's super beta. So I think that he is into chicks like her naturally. Like I think that they're just like a good yin yang, whatever. It
Yeah.
just, it just
But
sucks
he's
that she's
also
so annoying.
not mega beta because
He
he's
showed me
willing to
nothing.
talk to Jax, go take him to the thing, tell Jesse, like tell Danny that he has a problem. Like that's not beta stuff. Like
because that's I think that every move that he has made, I like we could go through the list of them. I think I could figure out how it goes back to Janet told him that was the best idea to do that.
Yeah.
Like if it's doing this stuff with Jax, it's because Janet and Britney are tight right now, and Janet says, "Be the guy that does this thing. You should call. You know what? Jax respects you. You should have this conversation. Britney really needs to know. You know, Britney didn't her mortgage. She doesn't know what's happening. Like,
I mean, maybe, but then like
that's not
fucking
really-
when he took him to the rehab and she walked him to the door and was like, I'm really proud to be your wife. Like that seemed like the second most genuine after Dave and Buster's, the second most genuine moment that Fana ever had to me. And it didn't seem staged or like she was like, good job, buddy. I told you it'd work out.
No,
she
I don't think that was staged,
genuinely
but I don't think
like,
I don't think that's alpha behavior. I think it's like,
but it's not beta behavior. Like talking to people, being the one that's like, I'll talk
so
to
you're
Danny.
not saying he's alpha, you're just saying he's not a beta.
Correct.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, whatever. You can think that.
I just don't know the last
think
time that Jason had an
Danny is a
original
fucking
thought. I
beta.
can't like I said, we could go through the lists. I can't remember them all, but like if there was anything that you're like, oh, what about this time? Like I feel like I could
Listen,
easily
yeah,
go.
you're
That's
probably right.
because
One of
she needs this for that.
Yeah.
He's got that, so she
Probably.
said you should do
One
this.
of my notes for this episode is I think Nia and Danny are secret murderers or cult leader. Like I think everyone on this show is a horrible person. I don't know why Jason is yet, but like I don't think that there's these group of horrible people and two little angels have mysteriously stumbled upon this group of devil friends. So like everyone is so horrible to me that now I'm like, yeah, Jason must be a piece of shit, and Danny and Nia are probably going to kill all these people in season 3. Like I don't buy it. I'm not buying it. You all are horrible.
Just to piggyback on what you're saying, because I'm not saying that Jason's a horrible person, but I think that money, fame, notoriety, it's just a magnifying glass, right? So like if you're a philanthropist with a little bit of money, you'll be a really big philanthropist when you have a lot of money. If you're a womanizer, when you have a little bit of money, if you get fame, you're going to be a really big womanizer. And I think that all of who Janet is, I think that was all that the cake is baked. Homegirl is who she is. And I think that Jason saw these little things, but it wasn't that big of a deal because she had her job as an assistant and like she couldn't really she wasn't under the magnifying glass. It couldn't expand. But now that she does have this bigger platform, she's got a camera crew following her around. She has more Instagram followers. She's doing the after show. People are gassing her up. There's sides. This is like, it's just adding gasoline to the fire of her bad qualities. They were always there. Trust. Someone just doesn't.
I don't think they weren't. I don't know what your point is.
Oh, because
what
I
you're
thought
trying
you were
to
saying
say.
earlier that like he would be like when they got married, I think she was this one way, and then he might find himself in the boat being like, "You're not the person I married."
I think she was playing. If she was stalker fan, right? Who tried to meet these people at the barbecue or whatever, and like this whole thing, this whole story that's been portrayed that she's only done this and becomes Stassi or Sheena's friend or whoever to get on Vanderpump or a show, and that 8 years that it took or whatever, they've been friends 9 fucking years before the vow. Like, if that's true, then that's a game. That's a game plan. She's manipulative. She's gonna kiss everybody. She's the sweetest motherfucker you ever met. She's trying to get in with these people and get on a show, right? So when you meet that girl, like, we know she's not shit. We know who she is.
Yeah.
Again, assuming this story is true. We know she's Janet, we know she's Fennec. We know she's the new Karen. We know all that. But she's going to pretend to be the sweetest little angel ever.
But that's my point.
What's your point?
That no one can keep the act up forever. So like when you first meet someone, yes, you're meeting their representative, okay? But he dated her for years. So there is no way that
But he dated her
snowed him.
while she was she snowed everybody. If the story is true.
But I'm saying she did. I'm saying there were little seedlings that he saw and he painted red flags white. There were little
But
moments.
that's fine. Like everybody does that. Nobody's perfect. Like, sure, you go out and somebody, your girl or guy does some dumb shit. Like it happens once a year. Fine. Okay. You're going to let that slide as a moment, right? I'm talking about, I bet she didn't have any of those. I bet she spent 8 years masterminding an entire situation that worked. Like at this point, it worked. She's on the show. So now that she's on the show, now she can go back to being Janet / Karen and be like, I'm going to be the evil. Oh, you did the oh, what do you guys need? Oh, I know how to do that. I've been watching these shows for, I can, like, not literally saying that, but like thinking it. She went after Kristen again. You got a target on your back, bitch. When Kristen sees that shit, Janet's probably dead. Like that fucking, like literally
Honestly,
Janet's probably dead
off
now.
That line. So either Kristen's so pissed or she's laughing it off,
Yeah,
being like,
Kristen-
"You're a
Totally,
gnat,
fine.
Kristen
girl."
is like in the perfect time of her life right now
Yeah.
where she's like, she's not exacerbating anything. She's truly letting people talk themselves into holes and just like
But if you don't
stepping in
think
with something
she's-
when she wants to. And
If
and
you don't
not-
think she's going to step to that just for fun,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm sure she'll get there. I'm just
100%.
saying that like,
which
you know,
also
like we
is
just
like,
talk about all the
that's
different
why I'm like, these people are fucking horrible. This shit is so dumb. Like even Kristen, like
you don't know.
I don't know what.
They don't know. No, we just like saying that line.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just go back a little bit to this scene, just kind of things that I picked up on. It didn't seem like Janet wanted to confront Jasmine. She was trying to avoid it the whole time. It was Jason that kept being like, "Oh no, we should talk to her. Oh, we should see maybe some wires got crossed. No, should I just? Are you ready? I'm gonna go up to her now." And Janet just kept being like, "No, you know, she's the one that wronged us. So like she should come to us. She knows we're here. We're just gonna sit here and wait." And then she says something like, "I don't even think she'll want to talk right now. Like you should probably even ask her if she even wants to talk. I don't know if she even wants to." And then once they do start getting into it, Janet tries to like bail, like almost immediately. I think that Janet is scared of Jasmine. I think that Janet knows that like what Janet is good at. If anybody watched Nick Viall, like she gave a very good presentation. What I learned about Janet is that she should be the White House press secretary. She's very calm. She's organized. She's got her things. She's not that way with Jasmine because Jasmine is a firecracker.
No, here's the thing. She's not good on the fly. She
No,
can't improv.
if it's
She can
not
only
exactly.
do it if it's
So if
scheduled.
you give her
and-
something.
Yeah.
If you interrupt me in the middle of my rant, I'll go, "Oh God, oh God." I don't know
Oh
what
my
where am I?
God.
Literally, where am I right now? Like that's how thrown off I'll get. So the second that Jasmine starts on anything, and Janet's not stupid. Like she overplays her cards a lot, but like when she's in the car, when she's brushing her teeth, when she's in the shower washing her long mane, like she's thinking about all these things, and she knows that like Jasmine's a wild card. You can't tame her. And also I kept thinking it seems like she thinks that Jasmine's gonna like bring something else up.
Totally.
And then later on, I think Jasmine says something like that. She says, "And I had other things to say," but she like, because there's
She
other things
said
I wanted to
she's
bring
got
up to her.
She's got beef with Janet.
Yeah.
And she wants to talk to her about those things.
Yeah.
But she keeps storming off every time she brings anything up.
Yeah. So I think that in this moment, there's something else, which I'm excited to now find out what it is. It's clear. It's so clear as day to me that like Janet did not want to have a discussion with her because she's scared of her and knows that like Janet or Jasmine's like doesn't give a fuck. Like she will just go off. Even if Jasmine, even if Jasmine regrets it later, like I think that Jasmine truly is super bummed on like the deterioration of her relationship with Jason. Like I think that they were homies. They were super bros. I think that both of them didn't want this to happen. I think might be one of those moments where that like you were talking about, like I've been friends with these people since before you, and like how's this happening? I think Jasmine will be one of those moments that he's like, why doesn't Jasmine like you? Like Jasmine and I have always been super cool. Also, Jason's black.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that you've been calling him Tiger, but I thought
Only because Johnny called him Tiger. Johnny
oh, we're
Smiles.
blaming it on
No, but Tiger
No.
Woods is half black and half Asian.
right.
So I think that that's actually his exact
So,
mix.
yeah, I thought that you were just fucking around, or that Johnny was just fucking around, but like
Turns out,
apparently,
nailed it, Johnny.
Nailed it, Johnny. Yeah.
But I think Jasmine's looking at it as like God forbid you have like a tumor in your leg or something, right? And it's just like, okay, I want to keep this leg, but this tumor is killing me. Like Janet is killing me. So I just got to cut the whole leg off and Jason's the leg. So you just got to get rid of the whole thing.
Yeah. But I don't think that she went into it. Like, did you see how she was responding to Jason as opposed, like Janet, she couldn't give a flying shit about, but she was trying to stay right there with Jason. Even when Jason came over and said to her, like, hey, do you have time for a chat? And she's like, totally. And he's like, maybe we could go somewhere. She's like, yeah, absolutely. Like she wants to salvage something with Jason. And this whole thing is such a bummer. And I like, but it will take these moments. I hope Jasmine understands this, is that it will take these moments and these losses for Jason to, if he's ever going to come to and realize like, I cannot get involved in this. I don't think he's ever going to leave his wife, nor should he. They have a child. I think that they're a great match, but now they're on a show and all those things are on display and it's going to have to be performed. You're going to see it in black and white, well, in color on your screen. And like, this was not a good idea for your marriage, I don't think. Yeah. Because I think they might have had a lovely life otherwise, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I do think they are well suited for each other. The next two scenes to me were...
Are we not going to talk about, is there nothing else at the beach? Because like, Sheena has hemorrhoids from... Nobody needed to know that.
Nobody needed to see any of that teenage girl. Like, I'm sure teenage girls aren't talking, but like that was the weirdest conversation I've ever heard a bunch of late 30, 40-year-olds have.
Yeah.
And the way Janet said, have you ever done it in the butt?
Or like, what's the craziest sex you've ever had? She's like missionary style in the bed.
Well,
like,
that's their jam. That's like they've said that multiple times.
I know that that's their jam, but this is what annoys me about her. It's like you're trying to play both sides of the fence in the sense of like, again, like I trust my husband completely. He goes out with the boys. I don't think twice about it. But if he leaves the house for 5 seconds, I have an air tag on him. You can't play smart and stupid at the same time, Janet. Yeah. Okay. And so when she's sitting there being like, I'm this basic bitch, just like we barely, like it's immaculate conception that I had my kid. But then also like, don't come for my husband. You put a target on your back. Like Janet, who are you? Because you're trying to put on a persona. And now this is like, we know who Lala is. Take her or leave her, like her, don't like her. She has shown us. Yeah, I love her too. Yeah. Like she has shown us exactly who she is. Yeah. Sheena's showed us exactly who she is. Janet's performative. So performative. I'm just the waiter. No, you're not. You're the narc. So be the narc.
Yeah. So I think that the hard drive started blinking. I think that I ever went back to I think that Lala and Sheena, it is so funny to me, and we touched on it a little bit last week, but to watch these people who are so clearly waiting in the wings, like, you guys are blowing this. So when you say like that Lala's at an event going, what the hell is going on here? I think she is looking around going, this is your show? Oh, give me 5 minutes. Like
let it crash and burn.
And let it crash and burn.
I'll be still talking to the producer so that when it does, put me in the game, coach.
Exactly.
I knew you needed me. Yeah. You traded me for a minute. I knew you were going to lose the Super Bowl, but it's okay. No hard feelings. Here's my raise. On my contract.
And she literally says, when people ask her about it, so were you were in the Valley this season? She goes, I was very pregnant this season. I was there. I don't know what they're going to use, but I was at my most pregnant. I had the baby by the end of the season, whatever.
My God, is she a cute pregnant person?
I know, she really is.
Oh my God.
But she moved right down the street from, like, she bought a house in the Valley right down the street. So I feel like you don't do that unless you're like, I'm getting on this show.
I swear to God, when I saw Sheena and Brock in their new home, I had this moment of visualizing her talking to Brock, because I'm sure he loved being by the water in Marina Del Rey. And I bet you she was like, we have to do this for our careers. They are never going to even possibly put us on the show if we live in Marina Del Rey.
Oh, yeah.
You know she said that to him.
And Brock also, when he chases that, when he's like, they're all getting in where they fit in. When Jason and Janet drive off or like go to leave, he catches up to them. He's like, I'll take this one, babe. Like Lala got the Jessie Lolly moment last time. Like,
I'm up at bat.
Yeah, I'll get out there. But then he still says, after he already says, are you done, Janet? Then he says at the car,
Karen.
See you, Karen.
That was great.
Like, just to like let everyone know, like, I'm with you guys, but I'm still trying to get on this show. Yeah. Okay, so like I'm playing the game. I've never wanted to see Brock and Sheena on anything more than I do now because of how these people are crashing.
Yeah, like get rid of the people and like bring Brock and Sheena, bring Lala and the new babies, like Schwartzy and everybody else. Like, let's get rid. Like, I'll do the whole recasting. Danny and Nia can stay for now, but I'm until they go to jail for.
You're making a
mass
wild
murder.
accusation
About
on them,
what?
like because they haven't. Like, yeah, I know that we've got some dark book, dark Danny or
I
dark
don't
whatever.
think they're. I just am like I said, these people are all so horrible.
Yeah.
That I'm like, what are we doing? Is this like, what's the story here? Like, what is the story, right? We're telling stories. That's what they do in entertainment. We tell stories. What's the story? Is it family life in the valley? Is it, no, that's a big disguise and this is the American family marriage now? Horrible, disgusting divorce? Like, what? That's not like, what is this? What's the story? These are not the people of the valley. These are not representatives of Los Angeles. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are like, oh yeah, it is. It's not. Like, it's not, right? So what are we doing?
No, this is a story of a group of people that were very young and got put on a show, started
But
to make a
only
lot of
two
money,
those people,
and they've
three
bought
of them
things,
are on the
and
show. Only 3 of those people are on this show.
like I said, there's the Sheenas and the Lalas and the Brocks, that there are people, whether they're the A team right now or they're literally just waiting to get tapped in. Like, I really believe that. I can't. It's screaming at me on my tail every time I'm watching it. Lala's just like, all right, hi.
Put me in the game, coach.
Yeah, here I am.
I'm just waiting till you realize I told you that chick was
Yeah.
crazy. You were like, no, I think we're in love, whatever. And then you're gonna come back to me and be like, you were the best girlfriend I ever had. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
now you're
yeah.
gonna have to get me a bigger ring.
Yeah. So I think that this is the story of a group of people that have like probably made a good amount of money, younger, were partying their balls off. Probably none of them managed it right, realize how much it costs to live here, realize the lifestyles that they want to have and that they have to keep on keeping up with because they've already been doing it. So they're the people that can't, they've all been talking shit about what losers they are. There's an ego here. There's a deficit of cash and there's opportunity in front of them. And they're all like, it's about a group of people literally clawing their way to continue on this ridiculous lifestyle. And they've never really become fully formed people because all of their focus has been on just the bullshit of Los Angeles. They are the epitome of Los Angeles idiots.
Great. I guess that's why this town's dying.
And not Danny and Nia. I'm not going there yet. I don't know what's in store for them. I understand what you're saying. And also always goes back to the sleep with dogs, wake up with fleas thing. Like there must be something. I'm not saying that they're this diamond in the rough. I don't know yet, like what they're.
I think it was a career opportunity for them.
Yeah, I think
That's
that.
what I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next 2 scenes, quite frankly, like I think they were such nothing burgers. It's the brunch that was with Zach, Kristen, Britney, and Nia in North Hollywood, and then the lymphatic drainage massages with like
We can skip
both,
right over
right?
that. Well, the brunch with Danny. Wait, who else? It was Nia and Zach and Kristen and Britney.
But again, it was just bringing up what we've talked about already. Britney is choosing people
Yeah.
over like, and we don't understand. I mean, we don't understand it, but we do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, totally. Yeah. We've already talked about it. And
cares?
Kristen, I just love that Kristen is so relaxed and just like letting everything kind of happen. She'll pipe in with a line here now and then, but like, I just, there's something so relaxing about that hippie this year.
That what?
Kristen's kind of like a bohemian something.
Yeah.
I don't even know
But
what you call
about
her.
Britney's new future fiance that
Well, I
she's
love that
already
she,
in
like-
love with and like going out with and moving in with, and while her husband's in rehab?
Okay. I personally think like do it, hook up, go at like your relationship is dead. It's
Yeah, I think that probably your irritation with it, which is what mine was when I first saw it yesterday, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, I forgot I don't care. She's been playing this like, I just want him to get better, y'all, and I still holding out for hope and whatever. And it's like, no, you're not. You literally have like a smash pad rental
Yeah,
that you're
dude.
keeping.
That's why
on
you're
the
keeping the
side.
2 months. Oh, I signed the lease. Bullshit. Put somebody
Yeah.
in there. Tell them you can't take. Like, there's so many ways out of that shit. Yeah, you have a smash pad, and you sent your crazy husband to the hospital with panic attacks because you and your partner in crime, mom, are covering up the cameras.
Okay, hold on. We're
Don't
jumping.
bring
We're
Mama
jumping.
Bale into this.
Let me set the scene because we're jumping ahead for all of our viewers. Basically, the next two scenes are kind of a mishmash together because we're talking about the Jax situation.
Yeah.
So it's first Jason, Janet. Well, Janet's like, I don't want to be on the FaceTime when Jax calls. So it's Jax giving his whole bullshit spiel about being at rehab, saying that he's giving 50% of the podcast to Britney, and then I never want to hear about the mortgage again. Meanwhile, the mortgage is racked up to 18 grand because of you, because you didn't pay your taxes for 6 years. It's not like, oh, bitches, ladies be shopping. Like that's how he said it. So they're having that. They're having some bullshit conversation. Like Jax is being like, rehab's really working, and blaming Britney for like, she just let me treat her so poorly, right? So like that's all going on in this FaceTime conversation. And then we get to the house with the with the continuation of like the Britney Jax saga. So now let it rip. Whatever you want to say about Jax, Britney, the conversation, have at it, kids.
He said the thing about Britney letting him get away with it in his interview, not on the FaceTime.
He said it on the FaceTime.
He said
on the
it
FaceTime.
months later.
No, he said it.
He said it on the FaceTime. It might have been a confessional he was popping back to from there, but I think he said some version of it on both things. Because I think it is like, so you're, first of all he's doing is regurgitating what some crackpot at this rehab has, like talking points that he's heard while he's like in between,
but he's Jaxifying it because there's no way a therapist was like, she let you treat her like garbage.
No, he's saying something like, you've gotten away with this for so long that it's just common whatever to you. And Jax is taking every line that he can, if it will like earn him another month of us not talking about what a piece of shit he is. He's trying to sound like he's epiphany, eureka, this brain busting, mind blowing, like, oh my God, I never knew that I was treating her this way. Motherfucker, she told you a bajillion times. Everybody told you.
The comments section told you.
You couldn't find it. You couldn't not find it. Like it was caving in on you.
And if you weren't aware that Britney was telling you, all the other girls told you. Literally, there's 11 years of television of girls telling him that.
So you trying to say that, like, it seemed like you're trying to imply that letting you get away with it is just that she didn't take your son and move out of the home. That's just, you just did whatever you wanted to do forever.
You also were manipulating her. So like if you're treating her like garbage and then she says this isn't right, like I'm gonna leave, next day, oh baby, I'm so sorry and I'll never do it again, and you know I love you and I'm never gonna cheat on you again. It's like she's in a messed up headspace from your disgusting manipulation.
Yeah. But just trying to act like I never realized, I was pushing her away. I can't believe I didn't see it. Like we went over this last week, and I hate myself that we're even talking about this right now, because all I want to do, if I would love to just literally, no, I would love to bypass put him out of everyone's misery. There's no coming back for you, Jax. That's it. You're a wrap. Your whole life is a wrap. And I never have said that about literally anyone on television. You could say it about serial killers, but like, these should be different people, right?
Joanne Greco said it in the comments. She goes, yep, that's right. No curing a narcissist. Yeah. And I know we've said it before, but she reiterated it. Yeah. And it's speaking to the point that you're making. Yeah. Like, there's no help for you, bro.
No, there's nothing. You're horrible. You've been horrible. You're only going to get more horrible because you're going to get older and fatter and uglier, and you're going to be pissed, and you're going to lose out on opportunities, because that's the way the world works when you keep fucking it every time, every day, middle fingers up. Like at a certain point, the universe is going to be like, okay, like then we won't give you anything else, you know? And so you're just going to get broker and dumber and like you will just have nothing left. When you got nothing to lose, I don't.
That's when you're the most dangerous.
Exactly. I always say like, there is no room for people in my life with nothing to lose. Cause like, I just can't, like, why even deal with that? To have Janet and Jason on the other end of this conversation, acting like going from the beach, because I feel like this is very soon after. If it's not the same, it's like, it could be the same week. I don't know what it is, but it's very soon after. To go from there and for Jason to get in the middle of that group and be like, she's the fakest friend. I would looked out for you. I can't believe what like just like acting like Jasmine was this horrible person that like he didn't see coming. I think the title of the episode is like Snake in the Grass or something like that. Like clearly referring to like what Jason is saying about Jasmine. You're I don't even know, like your radar is so off that like you went off on this girl about being so horrible. And then you're so touched by this line of clear as day bullshit from this idiot moron, manipulative, like just piece of shit, scum on my shoe. Like
I have an amazing
no
comment. Someone brought up the best point about all of this. I'll read it later about exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
These two have lost all credibility. Jason had some. He seemed, like I said, he's always just seemed so normal and pragmatic and so like, oh, A plus B equals C, clearly. And like, why are we wouldn't argue about that? Like, I don't know. I think that the show has already starting to like just erode at him. Yeah, because he was completely normal last year. And I don't. It's all downhill from here on.
Listen, I have very strong feelings about Jax. I don't want him to hurt himself. I don't want him to hurt anyone else.
I just want him to move to Guam.
I just want him to go away.
It's mean for the people of Guam.
Yeah, don't do that to the people of Guam.
Guamanians.
Yeah.
I just want him to go away, and as much as he can get help, that's what I want him to dedicate the rest of his life to. Because the bottom line is, he has a child. And he needs to be there be as healthy as he can for that child.
But what if he could just never get there? Wouldn't it almost just be better if he never saw his kid again?
Sure. But I would like him to try first, even if it's right that he could never get there, because he has a quality to me. And Joanne, you can tell us if this is part of the narcissistic like personality disorder or whatever. That is so frightening and also so maddening. And there is no bottom. It's these people that specifically you see it with really atrocious people on reality TV, like the worst of the worst, where he's in this FaceTime conversation with Janet and Tiger, and he's saying like, I've already talked to my manager, and he's listing out like, I'm giving her half of the podcast, and so this will be enough money to take care of the back taxes, pay the mortgage, and they'll be in a good spot. And then we see in the exact next scene, the very next scene, how he's sending Britney threatening emails saying, I'm not helping you at all.
Yeah.
The house is already in foreclosure. You can fuck all the way off and figure it out yourself.
That's exactly
and it's like,
what I'm saying.
Nothing. Whoa, Miss Lippy. Do you not realize that we are filming all of this? We're seeing you say this to them and this to her, and not even how stupid do you think we are? How stupid are you?
But I'm so lost.
That's why I'm saying, like, there's no bottom. He will never stop lying.
Yeah, no, like, sure, the guy's a piece of shit. But, like, so he has a day in therapy, right? And where it's a good day. Call it what you will. And he calls his buddy, and he's like, yeah, I made some progress. I said that, blah, blah, blah. I talked to my manager. I'm going to give her half the thing. Cool. Yeah, man, that's great. This is the first time I ever heard you take some responsibility and not a butt afterward. Good job making progress, blah, 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 right? Yeah, man, cool. I love you guys. Say hi to Karen for me. I'll talk to you later, right? Hangs up. Oh, man, what a great call with my buddy Jason. Oh, man, I think I'm really making progress. Bzz. What is this? Oh, security at the house. What? Why is she putting postie stickies on there? What the is this stupid? You're fucking banging dudes at my house. Ah! I'm not saying it's right.
There?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's right, but you guys are like, oh, he's so. I'm just trying to explain to you why someone would be like, walk out of a good therapy session in a mental institution and be like, I think I talk to the manager, I'm gonna do the thing, and then at whatever time later,
I think we're saying the same thing. I said, I think he needs to go away and get whatever help he can because he has that dangerous character flaw where there is no bottom. He vacillates in a way that is
but this is not a secret.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying he needs to go away and get as much help as humanly possible because there's no bottom for him. There is.
But does that mean there's no help from him? Because that's kind of, I think, what Natalie's saying and what I would not like. I don't know if Jax needs to die, but I don't like what else it like there. If there is no help, if there is no bottom, if that's Jax forever, if he's going to continually be in and out of treatment centers, bullshitting therapists, and then bullshitting his friends, and then coming out and flipping tables and abusing in whatever way a child. And again, I'm not saying he's beating this, but like mentally, physically, whatever. Like if there is no bottom for him, what are we doing? Why are we helping him, spending money?
No, that's
doing
why I'm saying
like,
he needs to go away, meaning not be on any show anywhere and get as much help as humanly possible. So
I
that
think
if
that's the
there's
difference. You keep wanting to help a dude, then we're like, but what if there is no helping him?
Because I know people who have struggled with, and I'm not saying that his stuff is just addiction based. I think he does have like the narcissism that Joanne was saying. Clearly, he's a narcissist. But like I know people who have struggled with addiction and they went to 11 rehabs. And it's like, why are we helping this person? Why are we putting them in the 12th rehab? Because it just turns out that the 12th rehab actually worked. And now this person's been sober for 10 years. And like, so I'm just saying because I don't want him to hurt himself. I don't want anything like,
I don't want him to hurt himself. I just want him to dig himself a hole and move into it. You cannot rely on him for anything. And if you ever think that you can, you will get
100%.
And you will be harmed from it. He will affect harm over and over and over. If that kid ever thinks that he can rely on him to pick him up from school at 3:00, 2 days in a row, 50% chance
it's not happening.
Like, yeah, probably 90% chance that second day it's not going to happen, but it will happen one time here. Jax is going to be the guy that shows up really well one day, but then all that's going to do is set up their expectations just to get pissed on. And that's so harmful. And that's why I just think like there's no place for you here. And as long as Bravo keeps employing him, like what they need to do is just guarantee Britney that they will give her, like, you got a 3-year contract. If this show lasts 3 more years, we will guarantee you that you will be here minimum 3 more years. Make all the money you can, build that bank. You can make a very nice living and set yourselves up for a bit and then figure out how to invest that and whatever. But that's where their focus should be. Get rid of this dude. He is
that's what I'm saying. He needs to go away. Full stop.
Yeah.
I had a note when I was watching all of this that like, and it's what I'm saying, like when it needs to go away, never be on a TV show again. It's the same thing though with Britney, how she responds to him. You should not be emailing with him. You should not be texting with him. You should take all the cameras down, get the security system changed completely, or like keep the cameras up, but get a new system, lock him out of all of this. And I said it last episode, full block, full moratorium on even speaking his name unless I am with a therapist or I am with my lawyers. We are in court and I am building a wall, a moat. I have armed Pinkerton guards outside of the house because you can't, with someone like this, they're like Ebola. Like, isn't that the disease that's like so terrible that like eats your skin and makes you so sick and like someone gets put, okay? Like you are the norovirus, okay? But like on steroids. I can't even get within 10 miles of you. And he needs to be isolated from all of that because he is a danger to he's a danger to his child.
Verizon and AT&T like need to make a pact that like they will not do service with like give him a cell
She
service.
can block him though.
No, I know, but like he just needs to be like cut off from like I don't know. Like,
all like cell phone carriers.
Just like any like God, just I can't remember a more despicable human being than this guy on reality TV. I just truly can't remember.
Okay, wait. Do you remember when there was like this month that I was just having scammers call me all the time?
Yeah.
And
I still do. It doesn't matter. You can press 9 to opt out. All it does is prove to them that you've got a working number.
Totally. They were getting really good. And so one said like Spectrum when they were calling, or no, I'm sorry, it said Bank of America. That's what it was. And I answered the phone and they were like, okay, like, have you put these Zelle payments through? And I was like, no, I haven't. And they start rattling off. The guy is talking so fast. Nothing is making sense, but he's using some jargon that seems banky. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to transfer you to the next person. We're going to stop this. Don't worry, ma'am. And when Jax was in the after show talking about, there was this thing with their podcast. There's something called an RSS feed. Hopefully we'll know what that is one day. Apparently it's very valuable if you have a good one, or you've built up a good one. And he was trying to explain first, like how this works. Theirs is valuable, and he's signing over all of his to Britney's. And he said, I've actually done it. I've signed the entire RSS feed. So she gets this, all the income from this. And as he's talking about it, I'm like, holy shit, I'm having flashbacks of this Bank of America scammer talking to me. And I'm like, if you actually are reading the transcript of what he says, none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's just talking so fast and throwing out enough of that jargon that you're like, oh no, he knows what he's talking about. Like, okay, there's this feed, he's signing it over to her. What's the problem? And then every time they cut back to Britney describing what's happening, and she's calm, cool, collected, and she's just like, never happened. It's an RSS feed. He's using it as leverage to see
all the things.
Our child do X, Y, and Z. And that's why, Britney, you have to never talk to him. Let your lawyers talk.
Yeah, if Camille and Kelsey Grammer, like, I don't know what Camille did. Kelsey to me is Looney Tunes, but how he wouldn't even talk at all with Camille. And to me, it seemed like it should have been the other way around, but he made her go through everything through lawyers, like never spoke directly. And they have kids, and like they had to do stuff every day with those kids. He would not speak with her.
It's the worst case scenario. Of course, you have to co-parent. You want to have a great relationship with your co-parent. It's not possible in this situation.
Yeah, no,
she
have to do everything through attorneys. She should never speak to him, because I think that Jax is very concerned with how he comes off to other people. I think with her, he already knows that she knows every single thing that he's ever done in his life, and there is no like undoing that. But if there's like new attorneys that are like, oh, okay, hi, Jax, Mr. Taylor, it's me, so-and-so from this, that, and the other law firm, and I'm calling to tell you that we're going to do this with drop off today, or whatever. He's not going to show that crazy to new people. I think you got to be switching him up all the time so he doesn't form a rapport with any of them. And he just needs to be talking to people, because narcissists do not want you to crack the code. Like they are really like want that presentation. They really want to know that you're believing that. So that's the best way to go. It would give him the best shot at acting like a civilized human being, because he cares enough about what other people think of him that don't already know he's a total piece of shit.
And don't you also think, yes to all of that, and don't you also think that, like, I wonder if there's a part of Britney that doesn't take Jax's lethal nature serious enough? Because when she was FaceTiming with his sister and they're talking, and all of a sudden production walks in and is like, hey, just got this text from Jax. They showed it on the screen, and she was like, no, our cameras don't pick up audio. And the producer goes, how does he know I'm here? And then all of a sudden he calls the sister to be like, I'm being rushed to the hospital because of whatever, like, because he just needs the attention on him. That's his oxygen.
Yeah.
I think he did put a bug in the house. And
he did, because he says to the sister, he's like, I'm going to the hospital. I'm having a panic, or my heart, blood pressure, blood pressure spiking. And she goes, why? And he goes, the sister says something about you putting stickers on the cameras.
Right, but he was also saying that he was hearing everything, not just seeing everything.
Right. But I'm sure he did all of that. But like,
no.
A normal person would care. They wouldn't. Spies are embarrassed usually. Nobody wants to. If you're spying, you're ducking down. You've got the binoculars. This guy's like, I see you.
No, but this is my point. Like, he's saying, I've done this.
Yeah.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
That is a violation. It is dangerous. It is it's so dark on
Yeah.
every level. And she was laughing about it.
Yeah.
She was like, why is he like this? Ha ha ha. This is, and do I think her laughter is a defense mechanism a lot of the times? Totally. But if someone started pulling that shit with me, I'm like, are you listening, Jax? I will light this house on fire before I give you access to me like that. Are you kidding me?
No, totally.
That's crazy
But
that you're not taking that seriously and going back
what
to
if
your other.
she's kind of into it? Like, it's like that's been their dynamic for
Yeah, that's
so long.
so unhealthy.
What do you think about that?
I think at this point, she's probably just antagonizing him with the post-its. Like, get a new security camera, lock him out. Like, get a new password.
Right. Why
Like, there's so
doesn't
many
she?
things you can do other than, Mama, get me this dude. I could get my ladder and put. She knows he's watching. She knows. She probably looked right out there and went like that. If I know any bit, like,
Or should know that he
again,
hid the ladder.
like they're all, yeah, like they're all, they're
Right.
just with each other. They're antagonizing each other. They're doing the same thing Jesse and Michelle were doing 3 weeks ago. They're just with each other, and you know what? That's why I've been sitting here quiet. Like, I I forgot I even had a note. Oh, Jax is talking. I'm going golfing.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't care. I don't
I
care.
know.
And I'm probably just gonna tap out on the Jax stuff. Like
No,
I don't
want, but
care.
you guys, but
Like I can't believe we've talked about it. I'm not shitting on you guys.
no,
but like
no, but like we should come to, because I was thinking that too, and then I don't know how much of, I don't know how big of a part of the season he's going to be for the rest of it. So like I
cares?
feel like we're here and we're like we have a job to do, a nonprofit, but like like we've like made a commitment to doing this, and if he's going to be, it's all going to depend on how much. If Bravo says we're doing half of it, then like why are we like screwing our viewers who tuned in for a reason to like
I
hear
don't think
about
they
what we
wanna
thought about this show?
hear
Well, no,
about
I was
Jax.
going to ask that. Maybe everyone can
Yeah,
comment.
we
'cause
need
I
a
think
vote.
when I was reading the comments from last episode, it was across the board. I think like the most harmonious comment section we've
Yeah.
ever had, because everyone is just so at their wits' end with this douchebag of a
Yeah.
human being. And that's complimentary for
Yeah.
Jax. So like if you guys are done hearing us talk about him, there's a lot of other things to dive into on the show. Like we don't have to spend all this time on him unless
That's the bummer. Not to interrupt.
yeah.
There's not a lot of stuff to dive into on this show, and that's my final note. Is there's no one on this show worth a shit. No one on the show is doing anything interesting. Maybe they are, but they're not showing it. They're not telling us about it. Like we got a couple that's about to get engaged or got married. Like who gets the ring? I'm still curious who buys the ring in lesbian engagement. Like who's?
I don't think they show the engagement.
I'm just
No,
making the
that's
point.
true.
Like
No, I
who,
see what your point
I
is.
want to. Who's getting the? I would rather hear about that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
but-
rather hear about Jason being colorblind because that's pretty funny. I would rather hear about Janet. Your kid isn't sad that you're sad. He's pissed that you're in his goddamn ball pit. Get the fuck out. Get your own ball pit, lady. Like, what's going on with Kristen and Luke? Is Luke happy? Did he get a closet? Has he found a fishing hole yet? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It was weird when he said like these chairs aren't put together, and she's like, yeah, they are, and like that was it. That's all. Like, why did you even include that
Yeah.
line?
Yeah, Mark, why did they include that
Because
line?
I don't, well, probably because they're making fun. I don't know. I think it was like there are probably some camping chairs that you just like snap together and put the seat on. And he was like, I should have, I don't know. It's just, I don't know why. And then, listen, this show is honestly blowing that whole thing out of the water because I'm like, half the shit I'm seeing. Like I think Jasmine got a shit edit on the beach. I think Jasmine probably did vocalize most of the things, and they just chopped it up in such a weird way. Like I don't want to get back into that, but like I don't know, man. No, my point is, no one on this show is doing anything worth my time. They're not living a life that's worth my fucking interest. Nothing is happening. You're showing me nothing. Nothing.
Real quick, the only reason I don't think Jasmine got a shit edit is because in the after show, she said someone had clarified what she was trying to say about like everyone was talking about this. And I just happened to be discussing it with Kristen. And now I'm looking like the one that said it. And Jasmine goes, Right. That's what I was trying to say. And like she botched it. That's why I'm saying I think she did a piss poor job at expressing it. Because I think
she
was
expressed
just
it
so
fine
well
the week before, which is again like, why are we doing this? Why are we taking a fight that's not real? It's a fake fight that's 3 years old at this point.
But also that they dead and buried. They apologized.
Buried
done.
it last week. It was nothing. And like, and now it's Jasmine's fault that we're having this? No, Janet, it's your fucking mom's fault. That's whose fault it is, because we were good. Everybody was good. Everyone was talking about it. It was 2 years ago. I heard a thing. I told a thing. They said a thing. We're good. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's what you're talking about? You. Okay, cool. Let's go get some hot dog. We're good. Oh, Janet's mom thought it was weird.
No,
and now
Janet's mother-in-law, who's a kindergarten teacher.
Whatever, dude.
Like she tries to pull out all these things where it's like, leave the kindergarten teacher out of this.
There's nothing interesting going on. None of these people are interesting to me.
I am interested next week when they go after Danny at Jax's bar.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you not watched this shit enough to know that nothing's going to happen? It's going to be Danny tired and looking and just like kind of zoning out on somebody's butt for a minute. And they're going to be like, look at Danny looking at that girl's butt. And then he's going to be like, what? I just did a 14-hour. What are you guys talking? You're looking at that girl's. That it's going to be something so ridiculous. Or he's going to make a dumb joke and they're going to be like, see, he is a creeper. Or Mike is right and he's going to murder everyone.
Why does Nia get like kind of pissed at him though? Like,
I don't know.
No, we don't know. We don't know if Nia's saying that to someone else or to him.
Oh, right. Yeah. See, Janet probably does things like she calculates a strategy for every single thing that she does. And it probably bugs me so much because like I'll have like a slew of errands. I'll get in the car. No sooner that I'm at Robertson and I don't even remember where I'm going. Like
That's
what?
3 blocks down the street, by the way.
Yeah. It happens all the time. If I took 5 minutes to calculate a strategy for my day, I would be a bajillionaire if I just practiced that. Like if that was one just practice in my life, because I've done a few things without any knowledge of anything. So like
it's not all it's cracked up to be. I got a lot of strategies. I'm real fucking organized. I got Post-its everywhere, reminders for my reminders. Not as successful as you think.
So it probably bugs me a little bit that like I wish that I like took 2 seconds to think about anything before I went. Like when she goes into Dave & Buster's and goes straight to the prize room to like see how much is this, that, and the other, like going into that prize room would be the best thing to do if you are there for a prize. But I'm never at Dave & Buster's for a prize. I am there to just hang out with my friends. When I'm at the beach, I am there to just go to the most magnificent place in Los Angeles that you can't even believe that this thing exists. It's nature. For free. And here you are. And all of your friends, they're in the valley. Do you know how long it takes to get to Malibu or even just Santa Monica from the valley? Yeah. I would be thinking about, I would spend all day to what am I going to wear to the beach? Is it going to be cold enough to wear? Should I wear like how whoever had like pants on with big, like, but like they were huge holes. Those are like shorts, whatever. These are just like things I'd be thinking about. Janet is thinking, what else can I get while I'm at the beach? Well, I can go to the beach and then leave with things that aren't even mine because I'm going to find things.
That was her dumb way to be like, oh, look, I'm fine. She shot her wad so early when she was like, oh, maybe I'll find Jason's wedding ring because maybe he took it off. That's why she brought the metal detector.
But she got it as a gift.
But that's why she brought it to the beach so she could bring it up again. But the beach is
where you bring it if you have a metal detector. That's where you bring the metal detectors to the beach. That's where, I mean, you see it all the time. But that's the thing. Janet is the person who got a metal detector as a gift. Nobody would ever think to buy me a metal detector because I am not a calculated strategist of life. Like, that's who she is in her everyday. I understand what you're saying. She thought it'd be like a bit, but like, it's still, the fact remains that this woman owns a metal detector. And it's just, I would never buy you a metal detector. I would never buy you one. Like, there's only a certain kind of person that you.
Mike might want one.
I was going to say, like,
I would buy Mike a metal detector.
I wouldn't shit on a metal detector. I don't want one, but like if somebody bought me one, I would be like, I would go for, I don't want one. But like I wouldn't be like, cool, thanks.
I would
If
never
someone
think
bought me
to
a
buy
metal
either of you. You guys
detector-
don't exude metal detector.
100%. But like if someone bought me one, it's not going to storage. Like I'm definitely gonna go metal detect some shit for a little bit until I'm like, this is dumb. I'm out of here. I didn't find nothing. But
Do you
I did.
understand the point that of what I'm saying though? Is that like I would
100%.
never go, oh, I think I'm gonna get Mike a metal
The
detector.
fact that she even
for
owns
sure.
it and
That
like
somebody thought-
seems that I will buy
It's
this
your
for
birthday.
her tells us what we need to
Her
know.
Should
mom.
I get Janet for
Not-
her
No.
Like her mom.
30th milestone birthday.
30th birthday? Your
And
mom
the
buys you
person
that.
who knows her better than anyone on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Her mother.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's what I said in the beginning. Like, you don't get to be a badass if you're someone who also has a metal detector. Like,
Yeah.
I think metal detector Janet, that's Janet. Badass Janet, not Janet.
This
like,
is why
which
I've
is what you were
said
saying. Yeah. Like,
in the beginning, like, be that person. Be
Yeah.
the person who genuinely lives for Dave and Buster's. You eye on the prize.
probably the
pun
girl
intended
that
from the
Jason
beginning.
fell in love with, which is a bit of what I'm like, and I don't know if that's a real person, but like, that's probably who Jason fell in love with. And now he's like, what the hell happened?
You know something else about her that I thought about that like, and this is, I almost didn't say this because it's like, I clearly know a million people who work for celebrities and have been their assistants and whatever. But like, I just think like, it so goes with the rest of her. Like if you're on the fence about the story on like whether she moved here to like do what she's done, like I don't know if you specifically moved to Los Angeles to get on Vanderpump Rules, but like you go there, you're watching these shows. I think I told you she had a Twitter account where she's that person that's on Twitter, which they're all deleted now, but people have screenshots of them. She's that person that on her birthday shouts out Kyle Richards. Hey, Kyle, it's my birthday. I'd love a happy birthday from
No.
you. Yes.
That
That's
all
who
tracks
she is.
so hard.
And then she comes here. Like I was an assistant forever for
Dude, I can tell you who's not going to be a sponsor.
No, don't say that. I love the hippies.
Really?
Yeah, they're so good.
What? We might have to do individual brand deals on this show.
I love them.
Those are disgusting. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. They're really gross.
So I've worked forever for writers and producers. I wanted to be a writer or a producer. Like she just worked as an assistant to a celebrity. She was working 60 hours a week. And like, why do you work for a celebrity if you're not like, it just go like, again, I know a lot of people that work for a lot of people in entertainment. So this isn't like a blanket statement, but just specifically to her and like how, like when she's 30, whatever. And she like, when she got pregnant, she had just like left that job and was like about to go find another assistant job.
Oh no, I think Jason said, or one of them said, like when she got pregnant, we knew she was gonna like stay home. Like she left that job and that she was gonna be a stay-at-home mom.
I thought that too.
Oh.
I've heard her now say this on a few different places. She had left that job or quit that job, or maybe she got fired from that job. I don't know. Whatever it was. She found out that she was pregnant during the time where she was like, shit, I need to get another job fast before I start showing. Otherwise I'll never get hired. Like, because I that's totally a thing. It's not fair,
Yeah,
but
no,
it is what it is. And then at the same exact time, the Valley started up and Britney came and said, we gave your name to producers. Is this something
I
you
feel
might be
like
interested in?
Jason gave a different story.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
But so for her to still be like in that game of like looking for other celebrity assistant jobs, it just so much about her. There's
She's
literally
a dick rider.
There's not an authentic bone in this woman's body. And you know, sometimes like I will totally go off on someone. I'll go on tirades about them forever. And then like, I'll just get it all out of my system and like be over it. And like, maybe she'll have some funny moments next season. Maybe she will just be a little more tame, like how Kristen totally had an evolution and, you know, they get humbled and things happen. And I don't know. So I don't know if she'll be this way. She's no Jax, you know. She's not doomed forever.
No,
she could
thank
change
God.
all of this up.
She'll be. I'm sure she's a wonderful mom. All those, you know.
Yeah, but she would have to really change up her everyday, like all of her reflexes, like Jasmine's reflexes, like them or not, good or bad. I don't doubt any of them. Like I'm
Same.
like, oh, you are bent out of shape
Organic.
about this. Yeah, super
Organic.
organic, and like couldn't stop it if she tried. Probably regrets it later. Probably takes a full 24 hours though to even think like, I guess I'm good. Like,
By the way, she doesn't regret 1 millisecond of that beach fight.
yeah,
You can
no,
see
no,
it in the
no,
after
no.
show.
No,
She's
I don't
like,
think
and
she
I'd
does.
do it again.
I know. I think that she regrets letting Janet flicker kind of like while she was doing everything she could to have a straightforward conversation just with Jason. And she was telling Janet to shut the fuck up. And Janet just wouldn't. Janet just kept on piping in. And then the second that Jasmine like came at her, she just tried to, like she's so above this and she's gonna leave. No, you were gonna leave because like you saw that like Jasmine was about to like get to that point where like all bets were off. It's all like I will say X, Y, and Z yesterday. Like that's on the tip of my tongue if you don't like, so whatever. I don't even know why I got back into this, but it's so fascinating to watch someone truly goes back to what you like the first line that came out of your mouth today, which was like you would be so much more interesting as the person that you actually are. Just imagine her being the moron that's just with make it funny. People with metal detectors, that would be a funny thing, but you've made it because of who you are in every other avenue of your life. It's despicable that you brought this thing to the beach.
This is going to show you my nerdy side, but like I hate Janet. If somebody was like, bro, I'm going to shoot you in the face right now if you don't pick one moment where you thought Janet, where you were like, oh, cool, I'm down, I vibe with that. It was this week when she asked Jason, like, and this is just like this is the kind of dumb shit that I would think of. Where do you think we'll find more shit? Around the fire pit or on the shoreline? Like on the
treasure, Mike. Where are we finding more treasure?
Where would we find more treasure? Totally, right? Because we're pirates now. But like that kind of like, where would people lose more stuff? Around a fire? That kind of thinking, that would be my moment where I was like, all right, Janet, give me more of that.
Yes!
Be the nerdy kid that like thinks to go to the Dave & Buster's prize room first and plan your attack. Be the nerdy kid that's like, are people going to lose more shit wasted around a campfire or strolling along like that thought process? I want to see. I'm into it. I would follow that all for 42 minutes a week. I would be like, let's go,
I want to add
nerd.
on to that. Then with this person, the mac and cheese cup makes sense.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't bother me as much because I'm like, oh, you're so specific. You're so quirky. Like at that point, I'm like, oh, that's weird, but
Yeah,
I'm
you're
into you
just a
because you're
weirdo.
weird.
Yeah, because
totally.
those people don't get involved in a bunch of bullshit mucky muck storylines that like mean nothing to no one, but that are just there for camera time. That person that Janet is, the mac and cheese cup and the Dave & Buster's and the metal detector thing. You can't even get them on camera because they're with their metal detector down on the shore. They're like, Janet, can you come in? Can you come, Janet? We need you. Okay, I'll be right there. I'm real close. Like, but she's starved for camera. But then also doing this other thing, like, who are you? Which of it are you? Like, you're not. I don't even know who you are. It would almost seem like she can't possibly be the Dave & Buster's metal detector mac and cheese geek.
Is, but
how do you reconcile? Those people don't have those thoughts about, I'm going to now bring up 1900 stories.
I can reconcile it. That nerdy, for lack of a better word, way about her that we're actually into, that we want to see more of. I think that was probably not who she wanted to be growing up, whatever. She's looking at these reality TV stars being like, oh, that's what I want. That's who I want to be. I think she gets out to LA and she's like, I'm going to curate being this person. Like, fine, because Janet's not cool. She doesn't have some dope style. She doesn't have this, like, you know, Zach, we always love how he put stuff when he was saying like, is hyperbole dead? Like that was funny, you know, and we get
Zach is funny. He's authentically him.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And so Zach has just been like, I'm here and I'm queer. This is who I am. And so but I think Janet is trying to put on an act as to like, oh no, this is who I'm going to be. I'm going to be the sleek, like well-dressed, which you're not sleek, you're not well-dressed, you're not any of these things. Just be the quirky, nerdy person that you've been trying to outrun your whole life, because that's who's interesting as an adult. Like, that's who we want to see. I just think she's trying to curate a version of who she thinks is like, I'm no longer the nerdy kid anymore. I'm this cool person. It's like, no, the nerdy kid was so much cooler. I think she's trying to outrun who she really is.
I don't think she's those things. I think she built the personality of I am this quirky. Look at me, I'm funny. I'm just that girl that's like gonna be entertaining to my friends and be the one that like shops at this store and like, oh, I love my stuff at the like. I'm now convinced that she is not that person naturally.
You don't think
I think
really
that's
is
who
the
she
Dave and
tried
Buster's
to,
loving
no,
person?
because that person is like I don't think they can mix the two. I think if she didn't want to be that person, she wouldn't do any of that shit anymore. That's not seeping through. That's not like, oh God, she is going out of her way to be Dave and Buster's, Easy Mac, sponsor. And like, and now like if the thing with the lie detector was just so she could bring it, so she could like think that she's going to bust Jasmine, like, you know, bust her balls with like this stupid bit. Like, the person that does those things for real doesn't get involved. Like they're not involved in this. And if they do get involved in that because they want to be that person, then they hate that other side of themselves so much they don't do any of that shit on camera. And she makes it a point every episode to bring a new quirk, to show us a new thing, and then say the words over and over and over because she wants sponsorships.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Now I'm confused. What do you think?
The mac and cheese sponsor thing is like, now that you've said that, I'm like, oh, she has said that a bunch, and like, fuck, I would like a macaroni and cheese sponsorship. I didn't even think about saying macaroni and cheese a bunch of times. Macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese, Kraft mac in the box, Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's the cheesiest.
No, it's not anymore. Remember, it sucks.
Wait, Kraft?
What do we buy that every time we make it and you're like, it ain't what it used to be?
Well, nothing is. Even Honey Smacks.
Okay, but so what do you think?
So I think, and this is probably weird because I'm bringing this up like second time, but and listen, people can be prude at any age. But so I'm kind of thinking that like we've gone on Summer House and said this thing about Jesse Solomon, who had testicular cancer at a time in his life that maybe set him back many, many years maturity wise, right? And now with the Dave and Buster and the mac and cheese cut and the kind of like, and the fucking metal detector and the types of things that she's irritated about, and the way she's asked this group of 30, 40-year-old women, have you ever done it in the butt? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just so creepy and like weird and immature the way she asked, right? And now we were sitting here talking, and now I'm like, she's almost like, she's not the cool nerd. She's the leader nerd. She's the alpha nerd who gets mad when things don't go the nerdy person's way. Or when you say something about, and she's like, now you said that. That's not how we do things. This is not right. She's that nerd. She's the like, chill out, nerd. We're just at band camp. No, but that's not the way you do.
That's never how we'll get a mac and cheese sponsorship.
Yeah, the chairs do not go like that. The chairs are, you guys didn't do, excuse me, miss, they're doing this to, I know, it's fine, Janet. We're at band camp. No,
She's
but they're
the human equivalent of the reply all button.
Dude,
honestly,
funny.
it's what makes you want to get off of group text.
Yeah. No, so I think she is that person. And I think, I'm not second guessing everything. Like, I'm not saying I like her, but like, I think that's who she is. I think that's who she came to town as. And I don't think she like got this job on a reality show to be the villain. I think she got a job and is now like, she's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's
the kind of things
overly
that
confident
annoy
about
her.
it because of what she's watched, but she's watching herself eat shit every time, especially now after we saw her on Nick Viall. We even felt bad for her for 5 minutes. Like
Yeah,
it was
She's
like,
the over-prepared nerd. Like, no, I should be I should be acing my SATs.
you
What are
guys,
talking
Tracy
doesn't-
Flick on Election. Have you never seen this
Yeah.
movie? She is Tracy Flick.
She
I
doesn't
feel like
know
we've
why
really
the
gotten somewhere. I
polls-
feel like we've moved
Yeah.
something. Like a kidney stone has passed. A Janet Stone.
This isn't about this is Summer House, but just whatever. I'm asking anyways. Do you think that they're just going to move these ladies over to? They're just going to make a new Real Housewives with this crew? Like it's
No.
not going to be a brand new show. It's okay.
Meaning like that will be Roni?
Yeah.
No,
Like
absolutely not.
okay.
That's just me being a dyed in the wool like nar housewife fan. I could stranger things have happened. I could never imagine it from my institutional knowledge. I am an expert in the field of housewifery.
I mean, they're just the two casts from how the New York Housewives have just been two different casts from the reboot. They were nothing like the first, like literally zero in common with the first one. So I thought maybe they're still trying to find their footing, and maybe they're like, oh, we already know that everybody
Well, no,
likes
they
these
canceled
girls.
They canceled Roni.
Well, they've got it on a deep pause. So it's like if they're, I just thought, because the whole thing always was that that's where Lindsay's going. That's where we're going to assume that she was going to go. So I was just thinking,
I was always
like,
just joking. I never thought she would actually be on Roni.
oh, I mean, I think a lot of people do think that she is. But now that it's paused, it's like, okay, well, where is she going? But then I just started to think, is it really paused, or is that just what they're going to do with these girls and just make it a brand new, like, they're just housewives now? I don't know. But then the thing that throws me off about that, more so than just like what's the norm, is just that, well, where's Kyle? I mean, obviously there's house husbands, but he would literally be like friend of. Like he would be, I feel like Kyle thinks he's going to be something in the next one. I don't know.
I could have been somebody.
Yeah, I
could have been a contender. I could have been a house husband, more than a house husband.
I gotta say, one thing that I did not like Jasmine. Did you watch Jasmine on Watch What Happens?
Mm-mm.
She was on there with Serena Joy from Handmaids, and so they were doing this thing where they were like acting out like old episodes of VPR, and so that they would both have to guess like who they were talking about, and she'd be like, oh, it's the OG blonde, and she slaps and is like, Kristen, okay, great. Then the next one was like, okay, here's another one, there's this guy, and then the simp, and she's like, the what? And she goes, the simp. Schwartz. Jasmine called Schwartz the simp.
Maybe she's not party of Schwartz yet.
She's not, but you know who is? 2 new ads.
I saw they're highlighted in my comments.
Because I feel like there's some people that are just on the precipice.
Yeah,
They're
we're
just
gonna
on
peer
the
pressure
edge.
you into it.
Yeah. But we got Trisha S. Vader and Shannon Fall. Welcome to the party of Schwartz.
This is gonna be.
Welcome.
We're gonna need multiple tables for this party. It's not just one table. We're not.
Wait, and Sprites, right? Because Trisha's husband drinks Sprites with me.
Oh, you can have Sprites at the party, Mark.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a +1. So technically, whatever the list is, it's 2.
Yeah, and I also told you that if they party of Schwartz it on Spotify, I think that gets to count double. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
then that means that's double +1, so it's quadruple.
That's so funny.
girl
We have,
math.
we have one comment on Spotify that says, first of all, she says, feel free to reword this message. I know it's too wordy, but I think I just want to clarify, like when I say that I was rewording comments, I just meant like if I could tell that 2 words were flopped, I would flip them because I just want to be able to read them fast and get through them. And I don't want to
You're
get tripped
tongue-tied
up.
enough. When
Yeah,
it's,
exactly. So I just want to clarify that I don't change comments.
No.
I just will I'm like, I think they meant this. And if I'm going to read them, I just want it to,
Or also autocorrect is so quick.
Yeah.
That, like I was reading, I forget, it was one of our regulars. I can't remember if it was like Truth for Peace or Joanne or something. And someone goes, Dan, we talk about. I'm like, wait, who's Dan? And I'm like, oh, she means can. We talk about it. Just, I'm sure a finger hit the wrong button. It was an autocorrect. So
Or
so
they
she
can't
said,
spell can.
okay.
no, I think she
I'm
can.
kidding.
So she says that this is MR on Spotify, and then she says, I'm the only one commenting on Spotify, so mine should be read. You gals are gorgeous and funny, but I want to mention that Mickey, Mike, Matt dresses real fly.
I know when
Listen,
you said
I-
you didn't like the shirt. And
I
I said I
don't.
like
And
it.
there's, of all the days to get that comment read, I'm not feeling this shirt.
No,
Who
you
is
look pretty
that?
fly for a
I'm
white
really
guy.
It's
sorry.
MR, but I don't know who MR is. I wonder if they're. I thought I had maybe cracked who it was from like what their handle was on YouTube, but now I can't remember the code that I cracked.
Mr. Rogers.
You can
It
you can
happens.
crack a code, but if the code then falls out of the back of your head, then did you ever crack it?
You did. You did. Okay. May I start?
Yeah.
Okay, downtown Julie Brown, who's just Julie Brown. I fell out when Mike said something like, "You'd think they'd be happy about Uncle Hansy going to bed." That was very funny. And by the way, a great point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Zoe just left me the most beautiful, wonderful, lovely comment, and I'm not going to read it because I would be Jax. I would be a narcissist. But because my YouTube stuff isn't working yet, I just want to say thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Okay, she just said, "Oh, you're so cute," so that's it. In case people are wondering.
So
no.
you're going to read it.
No, because now I'm thinking people at home are probably like, "Wait, what did she say?" And so I don't want people to like go and read it and be like, "Okay, we could delete all of that." Anyway,
Fucking
thank
with
you,
I'm
Zoe.
fucking with you.
Okay, Carrie Peacock. But what's wrong with it being a 6-hour episode, Mike? I feel similarly. Totally understand what you mean about it being a different show if you were to recap old episodes, but maybe when you're sponsored by Dots and Coors Light, you'll have time to do it all. We were talking about like doing deep dives on previous seasons, and Mike said we could never do that. They'd be 6-hour episodes. Some people want 6-hour episodes.
True.
Tiffany Finley.
You are you one of those people?
No, I don't. And I
Editor?
also just want to say that like we are if when the episodes are shorter, it's because the episodes suck, and like we just can't keep we can't keep making meals out of Jax Taylor type things. Like
Totally.
like we really are
As we
serious
sit
about
here
this
2
vote.
hours
Like
later.
in the comments, we are down to skip out on Jax, but if you guys are like, no, we're here for Jax, we're here for the whole thing, we don't want anything cut out, speak your piece. But
Yeah.
like we would like to send a message to Bravo and to the universe that like,
We're out on this guy.
yeah, we're out on this guy, and we're the lies. They're like we talked about before. It's just insulting. It's insulting at this point to have to listen to him say one thing to one guy and the complete polar opposite within literal 30 seconds of a scene
Back to back.
change. Back to back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, so please let us know.
Yeah.
Also, I do, in all sincerity, as Ramona Singer would say, I do think that we've taken all the meat off of this bonehead.
Yeah.
Like, we know what it is. The jig is up. Like, it's not changing. This is,
Yeah.
we've dissected it. This is also awkward because my next comment is about Jack.
Okay, here's one thing we can do. A preemptive strike. Let's just now, going forward, he is no longer Jax Taylor. He is Trash Taylor.
I feel mean.
You feel mean?
Even though he's so terrible. What if he's just like, he who shall not be named?
I'm calling him Trash Taylor.
Okay. Tiffany Finley said, "I am so pleased to hear your take on he who shall not be named. I had a child
What
with
a
someone."
pussy.
Me, not Tiffany. I had a child with someone like this. I didn't know who he was at first, like Britney. My family stood by him and did nothing, not even a poor opinion of the man. Thank you for showing me normal people think that this is bullshit, major bullshit. And I do think it's good that we are speaking up to say, like, we do not tolerate this. We don't negotiate with jerk offs like this, and we really want to stop talking about him. So let us know if we're okay to do that. Bridget 311 said, "Don't be a Janet," with the emoji, which I just think is so funny because so many of the comments were saying like Karen's the new Janet or Janet's the new Karen.
Stick with it.
It cracked me up how much that's got legs.
I think so too.
Deborah Traeger said, "Janet and Jason are desperate to be reality stars. So gross." And that's what I kept referencing this episode. It's so transparent and so icky.
Do you think Jason started off that way though? Do you think that Jason ever had interest in this before,
In the show?
like to be a reality star?
No, I don't think he wanted to be a reality star, but I do think he's gotten caught up in it.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now now he's going. Now he's pumping. He's working out for an extra 30 minutes to get those guns. Like it's happening. We're watching it.
Yeah. He's planning out with Janet. Like, how should we do this? We got to approach Jasmine together, be a united front, blah, blah, blah. Christina Coca said, "Courtney, you do not look like Janet." And I just want to say thank you because I don't like her so much that that's someone I don't want to look like. Mike was saying this during the episode, and I don't know if people picked up on it, but David McLeod said, "Heard someone call her Fanit," and I think it's quite fitting.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
It's great. That is a
Yeah.
great one. Joanne Greco said, Jason and Janet have been close friends with Jax for years while he was, this is the comment that I mentioned earlier in the episode that I thought was brilliant. Joanne. Jason and Janet have been close friends with Jax for years while he was doing blow, and they were fine with him. But God forbid, Danny has a couple swigs of alcohol and suddenly Janet's uncomfortable. She's full of it. Can't stand her, and Jason's getting on my nerves now too. That I never married those two. Jax is such an unapologetic person with just everyone knew he was doing coke. When he came out and said, "Oh, I'm a coke addict," I was like, wait, I thought you had an announcement to make. Like,
Yeah.
It just didn't. It wasn't a surprise to me.
No,
and so
now,
they knew this.
to know him now is just as like one more attention grabbing thing. Like it's like he just found it to be a moment. Oh, that's a moment. Like that's a bad moment.
Yep.
Like, but he was. Do you remember him going, hearing that out loud?
That's a toughie.
It's like, it's just so like you heard someone say that before. You heard someone say, I never realized it. It was right in front of my face. It was there all along. Like these are just things that have been regurgitated in every movie, in every documentary, and in every like therapy session. Like
for Janet and Jason to sit by
Yes.
and be okay with it and not they like. And by the way, I get that we weren't filming a show then, but they are now, and they didn't say like. They didn't mention any of it. It made me super uncomfortable. I'm so happy he's getting help because his behavior made it so I couldn't be around him. Not at all. First season, never said nothing about it.
Nothing.
So I thought, Joanne,
but
that
Danny
was great.
does what he does, and it's like dark Danny.
Yep.
That guy's dark. Then what is Jax? Like pure hell?
Yeah.
Like
He is, but still, I get your point.
yeah.
Danny Darko was also a movie, so I think they play on
I know,
that.
but still, like
I would never call Danny dark.
he's
though.
just like I understand. We all know that Danny hits a place where he goes boop, boop, like he just sort of falls off. Like we all know that switch is there, but I just never in a million years, unless they are keeping something insane from us, doesn't hold a candle
correct
to Trash Taylor.
Correct. Tanya Bluebell said something that I did not know, and I don't totally agree with the beginning of it because she says, "Let's admit it, Jasmine is basic." I don't think Jasmine is basic, but she said no personality. She also doesn't seem like a good friend. I had said, like, I think she is that chick that will genuinely pick you up at the airport, help you move, all those things. So I don't know if I totally am on board with that. But then Tanya says, 7 reality shows is thirsty energy. Yes, that's how many reality TV shows Jasmine has been on. And I didn't know she's been on 7. That is strange.
No, it definitely is. And I think that she's got, like I was saying earlier, that her, Kristen, and Janet, they have similar ways of going about, like hungry ways of going about things. They're just all on different levels of it. And Janet brings nothing that like, oh, here, this juice is worth this squeeze.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing there. At least when Jasmine is having a moment, I truly am like, I'm watching someone implode right now and it's happening and she didn't mean for it to happen. She didn't know it was happening, but like there's no turning back now. Like I see that about her. Janet, no, she like, it was all in the car. Let's run lines.
Yeah, and I also just find Jasmine more, not season 1, but this season, I find her more interesting. Like I want to know more about her relationship. Like Mike was saying earlier, I do find her to have like some kind of trajectory if the show is to continue.
Yeah.
Shannon Fall, this one's for you, Nat. Watching Schwartz's body language during the after show gets me every time. We talked about this last week. It gets all of us. Schwartz might not be saying verbally that he's disgusted with Jax, but his body language says it all. If he leaned away from Jax any harder, he'd be sideways. Go ahead and add me to the party of Schwartz. So perfectly put.
I need to know where Christy Sheeks is at on Schwartz. I've been waiting to know where she's at.
I don't think she's there. But Christy, we want to know. Inquiring minds.
It seems like she would like him. Doesn't it seem like Chrissy would like what has he ever done?
I don't know because she
to
hasn't
piss her
commented. And I
off?
feel like maybe she doesn't. I don't know. Maybe she's not as into the vow.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But Chrissy, just take 30 seconds to give him a thought. Just give it a run.
We'd love to
through.
have you at the party.
Yeah.
Nettie, always bringing the good stuff. So the Valley continues to be a disturbing spectacle. Jax is diabolical to stop paying mortgage for months to destroy their finances. He's a horrible human being and doesn't deserve to be a dad. How dare he try to scam the audience that he gives a damn about his kid? Gross. Bravo just loves their villains. He should be gone. I keep firing people in my mind on Bravo. So we've got Nettie's vote that we can be done with him. And yeah. Carlite said, Mike having a housewife reference gives me hope for more shows to recap. And I just want to let you know, girl, that before we started filming, Mike did say that he started Miami and
finished season 1, like real season 1 of Miami. I didn't hate it. It was the first time I got through a whole season of Housewives and was like, I'm kind of having fun.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx anything, so we're just going to move on, but like, excited. This one's so exciting. We have to do. At least me and Nat. Mike, we want you to come, but I don't know if you leave the house after work that much. Okay, Mrs. Sugar Shay, I didn't know she was an LA gal. She said, Courtney, I love that you brought up the burger place because my coworker and I were both sad that they didn't film at my burger restaurant down the street. Come visit me at the Counter in Studio City. I love the Counter. They used to have one right by my house in Laurel Canyon. I will hook you up with a veggie and an Impossible burger. I'll be your veggie sponsor just because you called Jan the Fan a wiener.
Yeah, no, it really was a
Jan
great.
The Fan. But we gotta go.
It's
So you
2025.
have to tell me. I'll be there I'll go right now.
Yeah.
It's 2025 and people can be whatever they want, but I think that's Mr. Sugar Shay.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Sugar Shay. Sorry.
I'm not making any presumptions.
I wonder if that's who
Presumptions.
I'm thinking that MR is. What something maybe led me to believe that they're the same people. I don't know. Maybe not.
This is just a PSA for people who don't know it, even though we've talked about it before. Mouse with lots of M's said, love you guys. Fun show. I was just checking if you had a podcast. So we are on Spotify if Mouse is listening.
But what does that even mean?
We have a showcast.
This is our showcast. Everyone knows this is
But what is a pod? Like that's what I don't know what you mean by that. I answered you back, but what does that mean, a podcast? Like, do we have a separate thing aside from our recap show?
How about this?
Do you mean an audio only version of this show?
Yes. Before we started doing the showcast, I was confused in the sense of like, what is this? Because when someone says podcast to me, historically, now I've evolved into understanding different parts of this business. I always thought it was like, oh, I'm downloading the podcast on Spotify, on Apple, and I was just listening to it.
I need to know who was the originator of Showcast. Somebody specifically told us to call it that. Mike was not on board right away. I think he's either come around or just gotten bored of arguing about it. But I would love to be reminded of who that was because I feel like I want to write it down and never forget it because I just think that was great help.
Yeah, I do
It's
too. But
changed
yeah, if you could
everything.
remind us because we can give you credit.
This is what's cool about YouTube.
Yeah,
The search feature in the comments section.
This is my last comment too for the evening. And I really, like I said earlier, I thought the comments from last week's episodes were 10 out of 10. I think we have the best people commenting on any showcast, podcast, anything out there. Because I read other comment sections and you guys are so thoughtful. You dive so deep. They're funny. You run the gamut on good shit. I personally. And this one blew my mind because it's Pret Petty. Hey guys, sending love for the podcast from Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Worldwide. Canada and South Africa? What?
Like, I'm surprised my parents in Florida remember. That's not true. My parents call me every day, but like my brother and sister, surprised they remember me. Someone in South Africa's thinking about us. That's amazing.
I love
what
that.
a compliment.
I love being thought about in South Africa.
And it's a great comment. I love your takes. Please keep up the great in-depth recaps. I just want to echo a sentiment I saw on Twitter. This cast seems to be pushing the toxicity of Danny and Nia and their marriage, holding no empathy/grace. But a lot of them and the show and the after show itself is extending so much grace to Jax and his abuse. It's super weird and it's just sending a really crazy message.
Agreed.
And I totally agree.
I think that's all we've really been accidentally talking about this whole episode is like how weird it is and how much credibility everybody is losing. When you do that, like you play yourself.
Yeah.
Like I don't. There's nothing that Jason could say to me for a bit. Everybody can earn their stripes back, but like at this point, whatever Jason says, I used to listen, and now I'll just be like, okay.
But I think it's to our point though that like it like why are we giving grace to Jax? Like let's just let that die on the vine and walk away from it, and they should be giving grace to Nia and Danny.
If it's almost as if they think that Jax has some say over whether they stay or go, because he is the one that pushed to get the show.
He's the Whitney Sutter
He's the biggest
Smith
fish in
of
that pond.
the Valley.
Well, it was already, I guess. I mean, at least Whitney came up with a new show. Like this is basically the same show. I mean, it's not, but you know, the original idea was that it would be pretty much just the same people carrying over. So listen, I don't care to give Whitney anything or anything, but it's shitty when you're nope. But he's better than Jax.
He is.
Yeah.
What you got, Mark?
Lala 3675. That's who came up with your showcast.
Oh,
Thank you.
where the hell have you been, Lala?
I think they're a Valley person or a
Southern Charmer.
and a Summer House. That came off a Summer House episode comment.
I feel like we've lost Judy Murray during the hiatus, the Southern Charm hiatus. I haven't heard from her in a bit. Either that, or she's like, you guys aren't bleeping enough curse words. I didn't bleep any last time because we had so many technical difficulties that by the end of it, it was like 7 a.m. and I was like, I can't go back and watch this again just for bleeps. So we really let him fly. And also when Courtney did her, this is what I would say. I'm from Jersey and I would do this. And my mom was like, well, Courtney was spicy today.
I really did think I was gonna get the beeps on the
yeah,
F
like
your
the actual. I
mother
normally
and all-
would
yeah,
do
yes.
like the
The
actual
whole
verbal
long-
ones, yeah, or
Yeah.
not verbal but audible ones,
Yes.
because it's just funny to me.
Totally same.
But there was just like I keeled over by the end of it.
Just so the audience knows, when I was saying that, that's what I thought I was gonna get also. So I hope no one thinks less
I
of me.
know, I really did plan on
Especially
that.
because
I'm
your mom will
sorry.
text me and say, Courtney, I just want you to know I think you and I are very alike because we have a lot of takes. And I say, I think so too, Gina, but I feel like maybe you don't think so anymore because I went
she
rogue.
Totally did.
Okay. I love you.
Courtney was spicy.
Anyway, Spicy Court wants to know what Mark has to say.
Mark has to go to work soon.
Do you not want to do any commenters and
No,
we'll
I
go to
do.
that?
I'm going to read this comment because it's again going back to Jax, but it's an interesting take on Jax and whether he should or should not be on TV. And then I'm not going to read the whole thread, but it's a good thread, and I'll give props to Tiffany and Zizi, and you guys know why. But this is Zizi's comment. Unfortunately, I think Jax is so dangerous that him being on national TV is the best way to hold him accountable and keep Britney safe. Imagine what happens when we aren't watching / they aren't filming. He is legit scary and gives off serious family annihilator energy. And then Tiffany and her go back and forth about having life experience with someone like Jax and getting over it. So good on you two. But also, I go kind of back and forth on that too, because I was like, well, get him the fuck out of here, blah, blah, blah. And I think somebody else had said something similar that like, think about him without cameras.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a lot scarier.
It's almost like, in like, where is it, like Amsterdam or something? If you are addicted to drugs and you just like can't get off of them, there's like a safe area where they give you clean needles, and that's where you do it because they know like this is what it is. Like that's what it reminds me of. Like,
Because Amsterdam likes to party. That's why.
well,
And I'm just going to double down on Dave McLeod and the fan. I had it on my thing. It's so funny.
it was so good.
Tanya Bluebell. I grew up at church and knew some PKs. So this one was pretty interesting to me. I want to loop you in on Christian culture. Danny is a PK. I didn't know that. A PK is a pastor's kid or a preacher's kid. PKs are generally rebellious. And I think you can take out the generally. PKs are always monsters. So him drinking to excess is not surprising. I do like him and Nia. I just think he's giving the cast ammo to go after him by drinking around them. They are smart people on Bravo who don't drink with the cast. There are smart people on Bravo who don't drink with the cast. I do think it's a double standard that his drinking is a storyline and they tiptoe around how violent and abusive fake name Jax is. I just thought the Preacher's kid thing was an interesting
Me too.
take.
Yeah.
Because
And I
like
didn't
I
know that
said,
about
I
him.
didn't know that.
But it does add a lot of
dude,
insight.
like, so I'm like, yep, I know that kid. I also had Mr. Sugar Shay's counter quote on here or comment because the counter is so delicious, and we were going to come bother you.
You'll come with us?
The counter for cheeseburgers? I'm not getting a veggie
No,
thing,
you
but
can get a real burger.
dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going, Mr. Sugar Shay.
You stole all my comments, by the way. Carly, I had you on there on my list.
Oh wait, this is important, Mr. Sugar Shay. Can you let us know like when we should go, because we want to go. We need to go when you're there.
We'll just go all the time, every day, until we find you.
Okay.
This is just funny, Harris. The biggest recession indicator is Kristen Doute being the voice of reason on this show. Nailed it.
All of Harris's are top notch.
Also, Tiffany Finley. Tiffany's a strong ass motherfucker. I never want to say this, but I've been to. This is funny. I never want to say this, but I've been to rehab. Jax isn't in rehab. 7 years sober here. Boom. Good on you,
Congrats,
dude.
that's
That's so
huge.
awesome. We talked about this a little bit, and it made us all real mad. Lucky Stark for life. I think Jax brings the ratings. Regardless if we like him or not, he lights up the screen. Yeah, super barf. Like,
Barfs
not
up
on
the
you, but
screen.
like
Yeah.
barf that, like, you're probably right, and that sucks.
By lights it up, do you mean I'm setting my TV on fire because I
Yeah,
hate
right.
watching
Yeah.
it so much?
Totally.
Yeah.
And then this is Dolores Tulis. Another podcast channel calls Michelle Build-A-Bear.
I need to know.
Yeah, who is it?
Yeah.
I want to know too.
They stole our Build-A-Bitch.
Yeah, and when?
Yeah,
was it
when?
before?
Yeah, did we steal their
Was it
thing
before
or
May
did,
23rd
yeah.
at
did they
7:15?
steal our thing?
You know, with trademark stuff, it's whoever just used it first. So
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
there's a lot on the line here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone else has the trademark for Build-A-Bear, like the company called Build-A-Bear. And then this one is just curious to me. This is my last one. That's my black opinion. They just wrote lame AF. And I don't know if you're talking about our show or the Valley. I hope it's the Valley.
Me too. Me too. That made me sad
Yeah.
because my first thought was like, oh, you think
Yeah,
we're
they
lame.
don't like us. But that's fine. Not everyone likes us.
It's okay. You can't please everybody all the time.
Yeah.
But I hope we pleased you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I need
dude,
to
I
apologize
hope
for
you're talking
something,
about
just tell me
Jax.
what it is, because I will do it.
Yeah, that's a pro.
She's not lying. It's your commie time. Nat.
There is no bottom to my apology bin.
One thing I want to say to Zizi, because I clicked on your thing to see if I could get your name, because your email your at is a at that Natalie would get real mad when Courtney and I read out ats that don't make sense. But
They spend like 9 hours trying to say it, and then they tell me that I'm taking too long on comments.
you do take too long.
You take so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading.
But
I'm
listen,
respecting the fans.
19 years. They've been a subscriber to YouTube for 19 years. YouTube's only been around for 20 years. That's a OG player right
I
there.
would
would
get
like-
something for that.
You totally
Yeah,
should.
I also want to know, like, what else do you like? Are there any stocks that you like? Like, you
Yeah,
clearly have
totally.
gotten in on stuff at
Yeah.
the right
You're
time.
Any
in
other
on-
predictions? you'd
Yeah,
like to
exactly.
Dole out.
Hit us up.
Damn, that's cool. I just noticed that and was like, that's so neat.
I have no. Does Meteor Wines not watch The Valley?
I don't know.
I feel like we get Summer House comments, but not The Valley. I just am curious because they got some good ones.
Yeah, pipe up if you're here.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's not shy. So if he was here, I feel like he'd say something.
Yeah, me too.
So
Me
maybe
too.
he's not into the
Yeah.
valley.
It's okay.
I'm about to join him.
Okay. I was just gonna say, are we also gonna say before Nat dives into her comments that we might be doing Next Generation? Is that
Oh yeah.
affirmative?
Okay. Who watches Next Generation? What's it called?
NYC Next Generation or something? like
Yeah, with all the kids, with all the
Called
Bravo
Next
kids.
Gen NYC.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Listen, I thought it was going to be the dumbest show ever. It might be. We've only seen one episode, but I was certainly intrigued, and Mike is very open to.
I hate everything. And Courtney sent me the trailer for that thing on Instagram like a month ago. And I'm pretty sure I wrote her back, lose my number, don't ever
Yeah,
come
like
to my
I
house
hate you
again.
now.
Yeah, totally. We're not friends anymore because I'm not watching that trash. And
I was so excited too.
Dude, it came on after the Valley last night. I don't even want to say anything because I just can't. I want to. All I can say is how the are these kids more mature than their dumbass parents that we've been watching for 15 years?
Because they were raised by the
give
interwebs.
me some of these kids. And I feel weird that I'm 150,000 years old and I'm about to recap a show about some 20-year-olds from New York that are more mature and sophisticated and successful and driven than I'll ever be in my life. And I'm here for it. I'm going to take notes. That's how I want to watch this show.
You heard it here first.
Listen, that could all change next week. I thought Lexi was going to get a boot camp, and now I want to kick her out. But
Okay, well, you need to not be such a fickle friend.
no, that's who I am. So take it or leave it. But I'm in. I'm in for now. I like these kids a lot.
Okay.
Except the one dude. That one dude's a piece of
We were
shit.
so positive.
But whatever.
Maybe we can slice out 30 minutes when we do Summer House on Friday for
Episode 1.
just to do a
Love that
a
idea,
reel,
Nat.
and then like see if we can get into it, like just like
I
see
think
if
it's
it works.
I think that's an amazing idea.
Great.
Also because I think part 2.
Yeah.
The first part brought us nothing. I think the second part's going to be another nothing burger. So this
Yeah.
now makes us really be able to just like give that the time it deserves, which is not a lot, and then move into
and then we'll choose
next
the
gen.
rest of the Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay.
Love.
So there you go, Harris. Also, hello. I got the fridge
Yeah,
taken
he
care of.
literally he gave me the company credit card to fill up the to restock the fridge because Harris said fridge is looking a little bare,
So
my
funny.
dude. I know.
By the way, Harris had so many good comments, but I know he's your boo thing. So I left them for you to read.
Fantastic. Yeah, his in Truth for Peace. Okay, Truth for Peace for Freedom says, I have a burning hate in my soul for Janet. Okay, not hate. Like, I don't want her to die or anything dramatic like that, but maybe she gets like a really bad perm or something. But I need people to recognize how manipulative and awful she is. And I'm so glad that you guys do. We do. I went to a party Saturday night with a bunch of friends. It was like a game night, or we all get together and play board games because we are ridiculous nerds, but cool nerds. Anyway, we're all in our 40s and late 30s, and our friend Nathan walked over, grabbed a bottle of tequila, and took like 3 gulps. Like, turned his back and did it. And none of us felt triggered, and none of us got upset, and none of us gave a shit because he's a hard worker and a dad, and we were all drinking, and he wanted to take shots of tequila. I don't know if it was warm or not, but I just thought it needs to be known that people actually do take shots from the tequila bottle, Janet, and they're perfectly normal members of society and not evil alcoholics as she's trying to portray Danny.
So good.
I was watching Jax, aka Loco and El Coco, old Crazy Eyes on the after show, and I believe he's starting to morph into Paul Sr. from Orange County Choppers. His arms are huge. He has to be juicing. I can see him in a bathhouse in 10 years with a gray handlebar mustache, acne all over his back, and teeny tiny shriveled micro testicles the size of baby pearls swinging to and fro. I can see him in prison also.
Yeah.
By the way, Truth for Peace, I was noticing the same thing on the after show. I'm like, what is going on? He's got like his whole body from probably the roids or whatever. It's just going like this. So his arms are going from this to like flaps. Like
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Oh, no, it's bad. Easy Matt Karen used her husband, Tiger Lily, as a kamikaze pilot to take out Tom Boo's cruise, a.k.a. Danny. Janet's stink, I'm sorry, is starting to rub off on Jason. Be careful, Jason. The stock in your reputation is going down.
You are the company you keep,
Yeah.
Jay.
Jack should go on Celebrity Rehab or a documentary titled Learning to Live with Herpes. Allegedly, he has 10 different strains of the big herp. Britney should get her own dating show, whether her mother and mama help her find a nice guy. It can be called Kentucky Muffin Looking for Love. Will she find a good guy to butter her biscuit? Whatever happened to the stripper in Vegas Jax impregnated? That could also be a reality show.
You know, there could be billboards with her standing on the, you know, like as this sexy independent woman, and it just says, Muffin can stop her.
Harris B says, Nat, I'm so sorry I did not submit a vacation request with Showmance HR, aka Floof. I was on Kona, Hawaii, and I got into a Bravo-worthy altercation with another gay guy on our trip who was wearing a Wes Wilson t-shirt. And the whole time I thought of you 3. And to be clear, much like Courtney, I don't start fights, but I sure as hell finish them. Love you 3. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Aloha and mahalo. Welcome home.
Yeah.
Welcome
Little
home.
puppy pie. Little Red says Janet is hanging around Britney for more camera time. When Nia was telling her life story, the look on Janet's face was, oh, now everyone will feel sorry for her. On the spinoff, Jax and Britney had in Kentucky, he was a butthole to her and her family before they got married. He probably married Britney so his career could continue. He has never been nice to her. When you're right, Red. She's right as Red. Harris B says, I agree that Lala is a bit of a hypocrite, and let us not forget she tried to come for Ariana in the last season of EPR. But she was right on the money when she read Jesse to filth, and his response, even the strongest person can make mistakes. Calling the mother of your child a cheating, lying whore on multiple occasions is a mistake. He is filth. I take back anything I've ever said about him being objectively handsome. He was one of the mole people for all I care now. Also, oh yeah, never mind. You read this part. I added it on. Also, the biggest recession indicator. See, I do that sometimes. Okay. Only Gets Better says, Jax and Britney's relationship scares me. Their abusive relationship is not entertaining. He continued to tell her throughout the years that she was fat and had no friends. He threw a chair and told her he's watching her. Are we waiting for her to get hurt? But also, without the show, Jax would have... Did we read this?
Nope. It's a great comment, though.
Yeah. Because it sounds like the other one that one of you read about.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
mine was Tiffany Finley.
Got it. Okay.
But by the way, we now do have 2 votes for stop.
Yeah.
Tiffany and
Yeah.
Only Gets Better.
Are we waiting for her to get hurt? But also, without the show, Jax would have no accountability. God knows what that man would do with nothing to lose.
Oh, and
we
then
said that.
Yeah.
My friend first.
Oh God, that it's okay. She doesn't understand our relationship.
No, I take them all. Courtney doesn't have an email right now, so I'm getting in there quickly.
Yeah,
and
you
getting
used
all
to
the good
respond
ones
for me,
out.
being like, "Oh, Courtney would love this," and now she's just like, "Courtney doesn't care about you."
I
She's
know,
not responding.
Courtney's out with
I've literally
Trash
been in
Taylor
like
somewhere.
Google hell trying to get this resolved.
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna flash this across the screen because I didn't know who this was, so I had to Google it. But CE says that Janice is Gladys Kravitz. Do you guys know who that is?
Yes.
That's who.
Yeah, Mrs.
who
Kravitz.
came up.
It's
It's really. I still have no idea who this is, but the photo. You don't need to know. You can be as dumb as me and as
From
uncultured as me.
that sitcom.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is that this is all you need to know.
Yeah, that is 100%.
that is
She is
totally-
Mrs. Kravitz.
Yeah.
Who said
I
that?
feel like CE.
Yeah, CE nailed it.
There is I feel like Janet is someone who has like a collection of binoculars like sitting in like a kitchen drawer for that little window right above her sink, you know, that so she could just like
I'd like people to
She's,
know
like,
that
on the
I own
ready.
binoculars
I
for
know.
when I go out on my walks. Birds. I'm a bird watcher. It really is just for
I know.
to see houses. I'm not
I
spying
know.
on people. I just need to know what's behind your fence. You do new hardscape. I want to see the hardscape.
They're just buying on people's crap.
They're houses, not them.
Just their stuff.
Yeah, I just want to see like, the remodel or like what that Tudor looks like behind that fence.
Tutor.
so stupid. Joanne Greco says, I've totally fought dudes.
Love it. Here for it. Believe it.
In defense of others, like my sister's awful boyfriend. Maybe that's an Italian Brooklyn thing. I don't know. Jax throwing furniture at Britney is domestic abuse. The stuff he's done to Britney, including watching her on the security cameras, is such disturbing domestic abuser behavior. I believe Britney wanted to leave when they started the show because she was afraid of him and the cameras protect her in a way. I get it as a survivor myself. Domestic abusers will use their children as pawns in a divorce. So that's really scary. They should seriously replace Jax, Janet, and Jason, and Lala, and Schwartz. Wait. They should Jax, Janet, and... Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
God, thank God, Joanne. We were about to fight. And I'm not even a dude. They should seriously replace Jax, Janet, and Jason with Lala and Schwartz. To which my question to you, Joanne Greco, is would you say then that you are party of Schwartz?
I think we would. I also think we have a third vote. Joanne is out on us talking about Jax too. I think that counts as a vote.
I think so too. And Nettie.
Yeah, we were up to
That would
4.
be one of the 3.
Okay, well, I'm losing
Party's
count.
growing. We're gonna have to start a separate check.
Yeah, one's party of Schwartz, and what's the other one? Like
Take out the trash.
Oh, that I could get down with.
Trisha Vader says, last time I heard twat was watching Wanda Sykes explain getting waxed. Quote, felt like I got shot in the twat.
Dude, Wanda Sykes
Is
my favorite. of
Oh,
all
my,
time.
her last stand up had me crying.
Is out of control funny. I remember when, and I think I'm the only one in town maybe that did this, but when I used to pitch game shows for a long time, and she would be on like #1 on my host list for like,
She'd be amazing.
call, like they would want you like, oh, give us a list of who you think should host this show. Wanda Sykes. Nobody else. Wanda Sykes. They'll be like, really? For a historical game show? I'm like, for everything, motherfucker. What? Why
truly,
not?
For
for
president.
everything.
Wanda Sykes.
everything.
Yeah. No, I miss her on Curb. I miss
her.
Curb in general, but I really miss her on
so
Curb.
She's
Funny,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. She said, I died laughing at that and did again at boring ass twat. I got to use that. Maybe replace Britney and Jax with Schwartz and anyone but Lala and Sheena. Okay, well, you know, one out of two ain't bad.
I think that's also a party of Schwartz vote.
I think that yeah, I really do too. Trisha. Wait, no, Trisha's already in Party of Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, she joined today. I can't remember. I'll look. I love Lala, but I don't want to see her back on TV reading people regularly. She seems like she's in a good place. And she said, yes, you guys did make me get the dots.
What up, Dots?
Dots made me do it.
Can someone tell me what bioengineered means?
Yeah, it means that you
Because I do feel stronger and like more superhero-y
That's not-
now that I'm eating them.
Listen.
And I don't know if that's what that means.
Listen, I don't read the ingredients on my Big Mac. We don't need to read the ingredients on the dots. Like,
It says fresh baked. That's all I read. That's bioengineered.
You're fresh baked.
yeah, and McDonald's says I'm loving it, and I am.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
Carmen Meyer says, what about when Janet made this statement about white trash and car races? I was so pissed off after that episode. I could barely sleep.
Apparently you're in a stock car racing.
She said, especially the snot thing with her baby.
Oh,
so gross. I forgot about that.
Please don't say that.
No, because do you know this snot thing? Do you know what she's talking about?
I forgot about it. I think I blocked it out.
Yeah,
but like,
let's move on. It makes me want to barf.
I am,
It's so gross. Janet, thank you for bringing that up. Not Janet.
No, this
Janet,
is
Janet.
Carmen Meyer.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it to Janet, not Carmen.
Oh, yeah.
Janet brought it up. Carmen's only doing
Yeah.
her her diligence as a TV watcher.
Yeah. Martin Con, listen, it's Martin Con Meyer or Martin Con me. I don't know. I agree. Schwartz with Katie does show growth, but he is going to have to come clean about his role in Scandival. That was despicable. Maybe if Ariana joins the table of Schwartz, I will take a seat at the table.
It's never gonna happen.
We're not
bro.
waiting around for Ariana, and we don't even know if she's very busy. It's hard for her to get back. She's in return calls.
This is we are never going to get to the bottom of this bottom because, like, you know, obviously we've got bedtimes and things of this nature. But oh God, I feel like people are going to hate me for this. If you were doing something like this, you would never. I wouldn't rat you out as my best friend.
Oh God, no. When people say that, like, this is Schwartz's problem, like, how, like, 20, 30 years of best friendship, and like we think it's on Schwartz to get on the microphone and be like, attention, Walmart
Kmart shoppers.
Yeah, attention.
There is an
world.
affair happening
Yeah.
between Raquel, Rachel, and
Yeah.
Tom Sandoval in aisle 7. We'd like a cleanup.
Yeah. And I don't know if Tom was cheating on Ariana the whole time. I don't know if he was like a serial cheater. I understand that that's how he got in the relationship with Ariana, but that was like a 9, 10, 11-year relationship
really
or something.
long.
It was really long. So Schwartz could be thinking like thinking the whole time, what are you doing? This is crazy. This is great. And then like during that time, you're just hoping that like he just cuts it off and stop this, put an end to this. This is nuts. Like, what are you doing?
I don't want to know about this.
Yeah,
Like, what-
exactly. It's just
So
like
I'm
was
not-
not his responsibility to like do
That's
anything
what
about
I
it.
kind of think
Yeah.
too. Like I wouldn't, if I'm putting myself like
Yeah.
in us in their shoes, I wouldn't rat you out,
No,
girl.
I wouldn't either.
Thank you.
No, well,
So
I wouldn't even
sweet.
think about it. It wouldn't even be like I really feel like I should do the right thing. No, the right thing is mind your business.
Well, I guess I'll never know. I feel like an asshole.
Katie Walling says Janet 100p has an AirTag on Jason, and Jason has an Android, so he wouldn't even get an Apple AirTag notification.
Janet knows what's up.
She probably got him the Android.
Yeah.
Also, Katie got dots. She sent me a picture.
Oh, good. Dude, my mom was like, thanks a lot. for nothing because she's just been
They're
eating
just-
bags
yeah.
of dots now. Yeah. I'm almost done. Ellis says, my ick is strong with so much of the cast and the show's getting so dark. I want fun, the Valley, with well-rounded characters. I wish producers would snip the toxic and sub in Schwartzy to get us back on track.
Party of Schwartz.
Just jump in. Everyone who's
The water's
like,
warm.
everyone is like putting their toe in. He's a good time. Everyone loves him. Most people love him.
Some people love him.
And for those of you putting your toe in and you feel a little tickle, that's Schwartz.
Bugs.
No, Schwartz is all about consent. He would ask you first.
He would, yes,
he would ask
that's
you,
true.
do you mind if I tickle your tootsie? Maximum Dole says, Jasmine is the only black main cast member being represented who is also LGBTQ. Melissa and Jason appear to be, at least, biracial. If Bravo doesn't want to run the risk of the token stereotypical black friend, then they should probably ought to give her space to address feeling like her identity/relationship is being trivialized. Even if I don't think Danny meant anything by it and I don't even like the guy, it does seem fair to call out men getting away with shitty behavior by excusing it as not part of their character because they were drunk.
That's why I loved that scene at
Yeah.
the brewery, because I felt like she had the time and space
Yeah.
to explain stuff that I wasn't even thinking about. And like,
Yeah.
we live in West Hollywood. It's the gayest place on earth. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Like, you would think that that would be top of mind, but it wasn't. I didn't get it at all
Yeah.
at first pass. And also Mike has said this, and I totally agree. I would be so like, push her more into the spotlight. I would be super interested to learn more about her relationship, her life. Like, I would want to see more of her.
No, I agree too. Like, there's sometimes that this show is not hurting for storyline at all, and then there's sometimes that like you just have to believe that you have to know that there's other story going on, and for whatever reason they're choosing to hone in on this. Now, would I give back hearing Jasmine call her what she called her tonight, even if it meant the rest of the episode was going to be great? I would not. I loved it.
Same.
I'll be thinking about it forever, just like bleach blonde, bad build, butch body. I'll never forget those words. Sorry.
It was when in the after show when Janet was like, "What a monologue," clapping. I'm like, girl, that is such a crappy rebuttal. She slayed you.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. No, if you watch her on Nick Viall, you do feel bad for her. First of all, she's so skinny that you're like, oh, you are miserable. Like, I think she's feeling the heat, but I'm telling you, if you watch it on surface, you'll be like, oh, she seems normal. Every line is calculated. Like, watch it twice.
Well, now I feel bad. I don't want her to be under duress. I
Quit
just
the
want her
show,
to like
then.
learn.
Yeah,
from
you're
her
not good
behavior.
at this. Quit the show. Yeah.
Or just be
And
yourself.
Nick also was like, are you doing this on purpose? Because you know that what is it? Villains rule. Like, villains like have great arcs, and he's like, I just feel like you know too much.
I'm listening to this on
You
my
gotta
home.
listen to it. Yeah. I also feel like he just took advantage of like asking more questions about other things. Like, he didn't even talk about her for like the first like 20 minutes. It was just like, tell me more about this Jessie character. Joe Smo says Burbank Airport all day long. Shout out from the
We
rooftops.
see each other.
Yeah. She's like, you can't always fly in to Burbank. And I'm like, figure it the out.
Listen.
Fly in elsewhere, fly into LAX, and then fly into Burbank.
No, I'm not taking a connecting flight just to fly into Burbank.
Dude, now
Not
take
gonna happen.
6 connecting.
You want me to
flights.
pick
Thank
you
you.
up? You are. Oh, Meteor Wine. He is here.
How you doing?
Jax's appearance was the equivalent of the chest bursting scene in the original Alien, if the alien stopped and cried a bit.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading this and I was like, oh God, I've never seen Alien. Too scary.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw it and it did haunt my dreams because I was too
Yeah.
little. My dad let me watch anything and everything. And then my mom would be the one to have to deal with me like, I need to sleep in your room tonight. I didn't give a shit.
I feel like that's almost a vote for Meteor to not talk about Jax then too. If it was that.
Meteor. Also, Meteor, are you Team Schwartz? Are you party of Schwartz? Jennifer Sentinel says, we are retiring the pejorative of Karen. It is now Janet. And I think that's it, because I think you already read Nettie
I did.
about Josh being diabolical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fiend.
Thank you for your service. Like and subscribe.
If you
We're
want.
the worst at that. No. Peer
Everybody
pressure
knows
people-
what they're supposed to do.
Do they?
I always
Yeah.
said that, and you would fight me on it. Did you just give in?
No, I didn't.
We were gonna do it today, but like I love using the community posts where it's just like a post that just goes out to our subscribers. Like it's not gonna there was things that I'd want to put up, or I'd want to put a poll up, or I'd want to ask a question or put a quick video up, but I didn't want it to go out into the world. What if that was the only thing that anybody that had ever seen Showmance, that's the first thing you're seeing of us. It had nothing to do with what we were doing. It's just like a random thing. But if you do it in the community section, it only goes to your subscribers. So we want to start using that more. But if you're not a subscriber, you won't see it. And maybe you don't want to see it, so don't subscribe if you don't want any more of us.
Polls?
But like polls, or like how when I was late on the episode, I just wanted
I saw
everyone to know this is what happened. We had a software thing with DaVinci. It was an update that I didn't want to update it. And then it updated on its own, and it made one of my plugins not work. And that plugin takes out like 4 hours of work for me. So it was like another 4 hours that I was not expecting to have to do stuff on. And I did. So everything was 4 hours later coming out, because I'm always right at the wire anyways, you know.
Wait, why don't we try one of the polls for the community with the Jax stuff?
Yeah, we could do that. But yeah, just want to say that if if you're not a subscriber, you may as well be. We're not spamming you.
No.
No.
We're just loving you.
We're just loving you. 2 episodes a week,
And helping you do your laundry.
and then maybe a a thing here and there to explain why the episode is late, and a poll here and there, but all just to know about what you want, because we only want to do what you want, as long as we want to do that too.
I love you. Wow. I feel like Janet right now. She said, I love you to Jason in the end of one of the scenes, and he just hugged her.
And he didn't say
didn't
anything.
say it
I
back.
noticed that too.
Oh my God. Am I the Janet of the group?
He did.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you telling you love us or you love
Yes.
them?
I know. I thought that you were saying it to
Yeah,
them.
I
Oh,
thought
my
you
God. I
loved
love you
them.
guys too. No, I was saying I love you guys because I'm
Oh,
going home to
yeah,
bed.
Yeah, love you
I have
back.
cats waiting. I have a face to wash. I have a timer to turn off.
Taylor Swift got all our music back.
Really? From what's his butt?
Well,
we
he
talked
sold
about
it.
this like a week ago.
He sold it, but she got it back from the company he sold it to.
Good for her. I love Taylor. Okay. Let's not bring the Lord into this.
Cool. Well, I'm off to work. I'll see you guys.
By the way, you act like I'm not following right after you. I've
You
also
guys act
been
like I'm not.
You have to sit in a chair looking tired. You're literally getting paid to look disheveled and tired.
I know, and then I have to go back to my other job, and then we have this job, and I was in Santa Clarita today.
Did you see Daddy Bucko?
No, I didn't see any of them,
God,
and
it
I
would've been
drove
great if
all
you
the way
would've, like,
out there.
You would have like been at a gas station. He's like pumping gas into like a minivan with like 90 kids screaming. That would have been a really great sighting.
I was really hoping I was going to see one of them, but I didn't.